Good afternoon, good evening, whatever you want to say, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. We've got another game of football, and it seems like the football at the moment is coming absolutely thick and fast at the moment. It's absolutely flying, isn't it? Absolutely flying through. So many games of football so quickly, and it's just a bit bonkers crazy, isn't it? A bit bonkers crazy. But we're back today, and from a Chelsea perspective, hopefully Chelsea will be a little bit more clinical in front of goal than they were at the weekend. So that's all we can hope for, isn't it? That is all we can hope for. But tonight we have Chelsea versus Brighton. And if you remember, cast your minds back to, it must have been the beginning of December, potentially. I can't even remember now. But in this reverse fixture, the hearts of Chelsea were broken last minute. And Danny Welbeck did manage to score an equaliser in this fixture. It was part of that awful run that Chelsea have been on. I say awful. They've been on an okay run, but it just wasn't at the level that we expected. And part of the reason Chelsea now find themselves 13 points behind at the top of the table. So plenty to talk about, plenty to get in with. Evening to Chris Ring and June Ring as well. Lovely to see you both in the chat. Hope you're both doing well. Saying, got to be a Chelsea win, says Chris. And June says, it's come on Brighton. So I'm a little bit intrigued there because there must be a bit of a rivalry going on in the Ring household for tonight. But lovely to see you both. And Oliver is back in Chelsea, of course, with him being a Crystal Palace fan. And then AJ going with Chelsea 2-0. And if you are, of course, going to be watching this tonight, or if you're just sitting at home, why not get involved by jumping in the chat and letting us know your score prediction as well. So there's plenty to talk about. There's plenty of changes been made to this Chelsea side. I couldn't tell you about Brighton. I didn't see Brighton last time out, obviously being focused on Chelsea. But we'll run through the two teams and then we'll get discussing a few key points. I've been watching the pre-match build-up tonight. A lot of the pre-match build-up, of course, focused on Chelsea, who are looking to hunt down Manchester City and Liverpool. Chelsea and Liverpool now have to be best friends till the end of the season to try and hunt down Manchester City, because if one of those two drop points, then it's absolutely guaranteed that Manchester City have won. I think 8 points behind for Liverpool, provided they win their game in hand, just keeps a little bit of pressure on Manchester City, and it means they can't afford a couple of slip-ups. Whereas if one of them slips up, then for me, the title is done. If you are new to the channel, don't forget, if you enjoy, be sure to smash that like button and do subscribe as well. You know, you can do whatever you fancy, but you can always unsubscribe at any time. So why not drop a subscribe for us? Let's run through the teams. As you can see on your screens, there's a couple of interesting names kicking around and a couple of changes, and we'll walk you through those as well. So starting off in goal, we'll start off with obviously the home side. It would be rude not to, wouldn't it? Starting off in goal is Sanchez. No real surprises there whatsoever. Veltman, Webster, and Burn. So Chelsea tonight are going to have to make sure that they're playing the ball along the floor. These three, maybe not the most mobile of centre-halves. They're very good centre-halves, but maybe not the most mobile of centre-halves. And as a result, they're going to have to play the ball on the floor. From corners, maybe the opportunities won't be there. We know Chelsea are a threat from corners. That is absolutely apparent. You see it every week, week in, week out. Massively apparent that actually Chelsea are a threat from corners. But against the likes of Veltman, Webster, and Burton, who are like, combined height must be about 18 foot at least, minimum of 18 foot combined height. So put that in the box, and then you are asking a few questions. It looks like it's going to be a 3 at the back tonight for Brighton. We've seen them play that quite frequently. Off the left-hand side will be their summer signing, Cucurella. And then off the right-hand side will be Tariq Lamptey. Lamptey, of course, playing his former side tonight. He left Chelsea on a free, I believe it was last summer now. Yes, I think it was last summer. And a lot of people say, do Chelsea regret that? Do Chelsea regret, giving up Tariq Lamptey? Overall, maybe in a couple of years' time, but at the moment, maybe not so, because the form of Reece James, especially at the start of the season before his injury, was phenomenal. Obviously, it would have been nice to have him right now. Same with Tino Livramento. It would have been nice to have him now in the team when Chelsea, they're running out of players. They're running out of players, aren't they? And they've got problems in the wing-back role. And someone like a Tyreek Lamptey would be a brilliant player to have been able to bring in. But unfortunately, he is playing for Brighton tonight, and all the best for him. Hopefully, he doesn't have a stunner tonight against Chelsea. That's the one thing I've got my fingers crossed for. You can play well against anyone else as long as you don't play well against Chelsea. We don't want to repeat a Frank Lampard when he scored for Manchester City against Chelsea. Moving on to the two midfielders, it looks like it's going to be Pascal Gross and Alzate. And then further forward, the three up front will be Jacob Moder, Alexis McAllister, who I still cannot believe is Argentinian. The Scottish-Argentinian hybrid is the most fantastic hybrid and one I never thought I'd see. But that's what McAllister is. And then the man, the myth, the annoyance himself, Neil Maupay, starts up front. So very standard for Brighton. Chelsea fans, myself included, are happy that Danny Welbeck isn't here. We don't have to sit ourselves through that PTSD again, which is absolutely fantastic. I don't want to sit through that again. A few comments have come in, so I'll read through those before we run through the Chelsea team, and I'll talk about those sort of key changes and key areas that Chelsea have made. Evening, Chris. How are we doing? And evening, June, as well. I can see you both in the chat. Lovely to see you both. Hope you're doing well. Sam, do you think Thomas Tuchel will be under pressure if Chelsea don't finish in the top two? Very, very good question there, Chris, actually. I must say, what you've got to compare it to with Chelsea at the moment, you've sort of got to look at them, haven't you? And you go, where is Chelsea's idea? Where do they want to finish? And I think top two is where Chelsea want to be, but I still think there's a gap in the squad, and I think that's been highlighted with the lack of fullbacks at the moment, to Chelsea being in the top two. And as quick as, Ibrahimovic is just to go, right, he's gone, I think a manager, I'm going to say this, and I know we've done it before where we sacked, was it Di Matteo who we won or was it Villas-Boas? Whoever it was we won the last Champions League with, we fired him dead quickly afterwards. But I think Tuchel has shown enough that he shouldn't be fired if they finish in the top two, whereas that's what I feel the problem was with the other manager. I think it was Di Matteo. I can't even remember now. I think it was enough with Di Matteo. Obviously guided us to sixth. We won the Champions League, fantastic. But this year, I think Thomas Tuchel's shown us enough that he won't get sacked, and I think they'll let him have the full season. And then come next season, if results aren't improving, then that's where I think the problems will come. But hopefully it doesn't get to that tonight. Chelsea, for me, this is must win. Absolutely must win. They lose one, West Ham sniffing around going, oh, actually, Chelsea in touching distance. They lose one as well, completely out of that title race. You can say they're completely out at the minute. Then they definitely will be if they lose tonight. If you think they're out of it already, they definitely will be if they lose tonight. And Oliver saying, hopefully Chelsea smashing tonight. I'm hoping so. I've got my fingers crossed. I can't deal with another frustrating game like that. Oh, Graham Potter's beard. Nice. That's a beard I can admire. And I think Tuchel is class and should be given the opportunity to build. I agree with you there, Chris. I think he's really good. I think you at least minimum give him until the end of the season with what he's had to deal with the lack of fullbacks and obviously coronavirus, taking out the likes of Lukaku, Werner, Havertz, quite a few players being missing because of that. I think you've got to at least give it to the end of the season, see where we are, provided we're in Champions League. If we're not in Champions League, then questions to be asked. But provided we're in Champions League football, we've got another transfer window where he can build. He can get rid of maybe some of the dead wood that he maybe sees in the team, a few players that maybe don't really have a long-term future, like Marcus Alonso, move them on, and then we can start building a side that will actually compete all over the shop and not just buying centre midfielder after centre midfielder. Oliver says we all want a 6-0 Chelsea. I reckon it's 1-1 though. I hope it's not another drop points. That's all I'm saying. I hope it's not another set of drop points. But we'll move on to the Chelsea side, and I'll talk you through a few of the changes that Thomas Tuchel has made tonight. And of course, my star boy is back in the team for tonight. But we'll start off in goal. Obviously, Kepa, Edouard Mendy still with Senegal in the AFCON. Don't really need to speak about that anymore. Then the three at the back tonight looks like it's going to be Azpilicueta, Thiago Silva, and Rudiger. And so the one change there is Malang Sarr. He will have swapped out for either Callum Hudson-Odoi, who you can see on the pitch as well, and Mason Mount. However, I think probably we shouldn't have started Malang Sarr. I don't know the reason for keeping a couple of the other players on the bench, but I don't think we should have started Malang Sarr and disrupted Rudiger's flow. We swapped Rudiger to the right-hand side, and I think what that exposed in that game was Marcus Alonso's defensive capabilities when he's not around a defender who is like Rudiger, who can cover, who can do well. And so as a result of that, I think it's a big sort of point to look at is Chelsea, they took out Rudiger from that left-hand side. Alonso, who'd looked for the rest of the season, he's not looked too bad defensively. Of course, he got given away a penalty in the game against Leeds. But other than that, he hasn't looked too poor defensively. And as soon as you took Rudiger away, that's when the problem arose. And I think that's why we reverted back as well. And of course, Malang Sarr is only 22, so he's got plenty of time for room and develop. And, you know, with someone like a Ben Chilwell there, I don't think Raheem Sterling would have quite had the joy down that left-hand side. Moving on to the four across midfield, or the two wing-backs and the two centre midfielders, we've got Callum Hudson-Odoi, Kante, Jorginho and Alonso. Thomas Tuchel said in his pre-match interview the substitution of Jorginho to come into the side instead of N'Golo Kante was because Mateo Kovacic has played so many games so far this season, and he's a little bit aware that he doesn't want to run him into the floor, which is fair enough because Mateo Kovacic, we know how good he's been, and maybe against a team where Chelsea don't need to carry the ball up the pitch as much, then maybe that is the reason why they've opted to do that tonight. And of course, against City, other than that bit of a poor pass, which ended up falling to Jack Grealish, but ultimately didn't lead anywhere, Mateo Kovacic was really good in that game as well, and you couldn't really knock his performance. Just going to the comments, Brighton last minutes, FC.com, absolutely, Oliver. They seem to do it all the time against Chelsea as well, so I'm not happy about that one. And June would like a Brighton win. Classic June. She hates Chelsea. June Ring does. Hates Chelsea. And the star boy as well is in. Josh is in as well. Saying, evening, Sam. 0-0 draw incoming. Josh, I hate how every single game Chelsea play, you just bring all these negative vibes to the chat. You bring the negative vibes. And last time it was a 4-0 to Manchester City. And tonight you're saying there's going to be no goals. And you're just bringing negative vibes, Josh. We don't need that. And how settled do you think Lukaku is now at the Bridge? Honestly, Romelu Lukaku, who is starting up front tonight with Mason Mount and Hakim Ziyech. Romelu Lukaku, for me, I've lost my tolerance with him. I've just lost my tolerance with him. He needs to score by the end of the season. If he's not hitting at least 15 goals this season, I'm going to be absolutely fuming, especially with the way that he's treated this club over the last couple of weeks. It's been absolutely awful, to be honest with you. I don't know why you come out and say that. I don't know why you would come out and say that. And Shah says, oh, hello, Sam. Oh, look at you. Fancy improving the layout every stream. Yeah, I'm just trying a few different bits and bobs. I thought the form thing, we're going to get onto the form thing. The form, what is the word? The form calendar? I don't think that's the word, but we're going to call it that. I know you're not a big fan of Chelsea, June. You say this every time you're in. Oh, God. Yeah, we'll get onto the form stuff in a second. We'll just talk about, of course, the one man who I've not spoken about really in any depth who missed out last time was Mason Mount. And they were talking about in the pre-match build-up, and you've got to give Mason Mount some credit for this. Thomas Tuchel opted to drop Mount in the game against Manchester City at the weekend. And apparently in the changing rooms, Mason Mount was absolutely fuming with Thomas Tuchel. absolutely fuming, and apparently he was giving him the evils in the changing rooms, and rightly so. Rightly so. This man is Chelsea's top goal scorer this season. He's one of their top assisters, and to be honest with you, the creative spark, and to drop him in the biggest game of them all against Manchester City. What was Thomas Tuchel thinking, man? What was Thomas Tuchel thinking? Really, really strange decision. He is back in the team tonight. One thing I did clock the other day is Hakim Ziyech didn't get taken to the African Cup of Nations, and I was doing a bit of research up on it. Apparently, he fell out with the first team, the Moroccan first team coach. So a really strange one, but Hakim Ziyech, we'll have him. He's not been very good in a Chelsea shirt, but we'll definitely take him. There's definitely a player in there, isn't there? Definitely is a player. He may have a huge impact on the position that Chelsea finish. Werner's still not doing it. Yeah, Werner's still just lacking that final end product, isn't he, Chris? Just lacking that final end product. And I think the thing with Werner is you look at the player and you think, actually, he's good on the ball, he's quick, he's okay at dribbling, but his movement actually creates opportunities for other people. Whereas with Lukaku at the minute, every touch is just like it's hitting a trampoline and pinging off left, right, and centre, and he's almost breaking up the play. And so for me, I'd prefer to have Werner starting tonight because Chelsea just look a lot more fluid in that transition and moving the ball around. They look a lot more fluid. But in terms of goal scoring, of course, he's a much better player, much better player, Romelu Lukaku. But who knows? Maybe Timo Werner will start finding the back of the net. I think it's a matter of time. I keep saying it, but I think it's a matter of time. To be honest with you, I think it might be that Werner ends up leaving Chelsea, whether it's the summer transfer window or next summer, and I think he'll end up scoring a load of goals wherever he goes. June Ring hates them because of John Terry. She wasn't happy when he came to the Villa. What? You just got one of our greatest ever players, practically our best ever player, John Terry, and you weren't happy when he came to Villa? Typical. Shah saying, hi Josh, lucky you signed Phil Coutinho and he's already scored. Phil Coutinho, what a man. What a man. You've got to admire those finesse shots. No man on this earth can take a finesse shot better than Phil Coutinho can. No man on earth. And evening to Curly as well, who says, aloha, and Huddersfield will take Werner. No surprises. Huddersfield will take anyone, to be honest with you. But just before the players are just coming out onto the pitch with the referees, just before we get underway, I have got the form, what I'm going to call the form calendar on the screen there for you. I really need to think of what the word is for that. Screw it. Form calendar. As you can see, both sides are not really doing anything in terms of, as you can see, Chelsea won 1 in the last 5. Brighton, okay, yes, the expectations are lower. Lost their, unbeaten in 4, lost 1 in 5. It's just, I know what Josh means. Form guide. There we are. Thank you, Josh. Form guide. The form calendar. The form diary. But I know what Josh means when he says a 0-0. You look at that form there and you're like, who's in worse form? Who is in worse form? And it definitely is Chelsea. But it doesn't scream this is going to be a goal fest tonight at all. Does not scream goal fest at all. Let's have a look as well. Shah says, Villa, Newcastle and other clubs making big moves. They want to avoid relegation. Imagine Villa and Newcastle in the Conference or Europa League. It's not been that long, actually, since Villa were in the Europa League, has it? 10 years? Same with Newcastle as well, actually. Newcastle finished 4th one year. So it's not been that long. But yeah, I know what you mean. Probably just the example of club there just wasn't the greatest. But yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Evening, Venuk. How are we doing, mate? Still smashing the FPL League as always. And Sean says, who needs Grealish when you got Coutinho? Exactly. Who needs Jack Grealish when you've got Phil Coutinho? But that's enough Jack Grealish talk for one night. We are talking about the better central attacking midfielder from England, and we're going to be talking about Mason Mount and Chelsea tonight. So why talk about Jack Grealish, eh? Why talk about Grealish? Sam, is Maupay starting? Brighton Twitter say on the bench. I don't know. Let me double check. I've checked 2 websites. I've checked SofaScore and I checked somewhere else as well. And they've it is That's really strange. You are right. You are right, Josh. I'll update that in a second. But that's really strange because SofaScore and the one that I've just done, it must have been like a last-minute omission or something. I'm not sure. We'll have to see if he's on the bench. He's named on the bench by the looks of that. So that's really, really strange. But I will update that in a second. But yes, Josh, you are absolutely correct. Thank you for pointing that one out. SofaScore is wrong, getting it wrong so many times. I know. But oh well. Not the end of the world whatsoever. I need to get the stream timer getting ready and getting firing as well. So strange. It did that to me at the weekend as well. It did that to me. It said Callum Hudson-Odoi. I think it said Callum Hudson-Odoi was starting as well. So it's not the first time, and it probably won't be the last time that the teams are wrong. But oh well, we know now it's Danny Welbeck, and so now I'm a little bit nervous. I'm getting a little bit shaky. Way. And I'll need to put my MacBook on charge because I didn't realize that. But anyway, let's export this, get it all up to date. Hopefully before kickoff, if I can do it in time. I don't think I will though. And we are underway. Chelsea playing in their alternative. Yeah, that is the word. Alternate third kit. And is that their away kit? Yellow kit. I can't remember. They're in the yellow kit. And and Brighton in their classic Huddersfield Town-esque white and blue. White and blue. Let me just update that banner and then I will get commentating for you. And of course, I need to plug in my MacBook. Thank you to the 14 people in the stream right now. I've just seen Oliver has gone over to the Twitch as well. So thank you for doing that, Oliver. I greatly appreciate that. And yeah, we'll look forward to an exciting game. Get your score predictions in, ladies and gents. I'm going to give mine in a short while. There we are, Danny Welbeck updated. And yeah, score prediction. I am going big. I'm saying it's going to be 3-0 Chelsea tonight and that they are not going to have a chance, Brighton and Hove Albion. Not going to have a chance. Curly says, I reckon 1-0 Brighton. Morpay score a 36-minute rebound from a penalty after Mendy saves the first shot. I mean, considering neither of those are playing, Curly, I think you've got that prediction absolutely spot on. That's why my 0-0 is a shout. I can't see goals. I know. And just realised I was 17 minutes behind. Silly me. Nice one, Shah. How are you 17 minutes behind? We've literally been only going 22. Right, let me just plug in my MacBook and then I'll be ready. Ow. I just headbutted my laptop. That didn't help. Ow. Right, so there we are. Sorted. We are all ready and waiting. Let's go. Cucurella nicks the ball there. He was in the right back position there. Veltman, lovely play there by Brighton. Whips in by Lamptey, looking for Danny Welbeck arriving at the back post. Falls instead to Alzate. Lovely flick there from Welbeck. Oh, shot. Oh, my gosh. Moda. Not a bad effort that, Brighton starting really, I hate to say it, bright. Brighton have started so bright in this game. That was a lovely play. It's a delicate little flick from Danny Welbeck, of all people, to find Moda there at the edge of the box. And it's not a bad effort, Not a bad effort at all. Sam, what are your thoughts on Frank Lampard? Heard he's supposed to be going to Everton, or rumoured to be going to Everton, but so is Jose Mourinho. So really strange one. As a manager, he wasn't the right time for Chelsea. That's simple. Easy as pie. Wasn't the right time for Chelsea, that one. But I think he will be a fantastic manager. And I imagine 10 years down the line, we'll be all sat back laughing and remember, do you remember the first time that Frank Lampard came to Chelsea after he's won us 2 Premier League titles? Scam? Why did I just say my own name wrong? Sam, what's your prediction between Preston North End and Sheffield United? I have no clue. 3-0 Sheffield. I don't even know where anyone is in the league. Chris Ring going 2-1 Chelsea, and Sean is backing me and going with 3-0 as well. And Oliver is in the Twitch chat as well. I did just say scam, yeah. Maybe I'm scamming you all of your time from your life. Maybe that's why I said it. Brighton, though, starting on the front foot at the moment, 3 minutes in, and Chelsea being asked a few questions here. Brighton, we expect Brighton to be good on the ball, get the ball down and play well, but they're starting nicely. They are starting nicely. Cucurella throws it into Danny Welbeck, comes back again. It's going to be the ball whipped in there, looking for Gross, who was at the back post. It's fallen instead to Lamptey. Lamptey, great drop of the shoulder there, who Lamptey, of course, was clocked at going the quickest out of any player last season, which was pretty mental, to be honest with you, for a fullback. And considering the size of Tyreek Lamptey as well, and like if you think about typical sprinters, and I'm more thinking of Usain Bolt, for Tyreek Lamptey to be the quickest, there is a bit of a height difference here. Brighton have a throw-in deep inside the Chelsea half, though, after some good work from Lamptey. Well read there by Marcus Alonso, doing his defensive duties. Steven Gerrard to Everton confirmed. And Joel's like, are you sure? Imagine that. Lukaku flicks one on. He finds Callum Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi has Azpilicueta busting a gut to try and get up there with him. Hudson-Odoi roams on, rolls it into Azpilicueta, pulls it back to Ziyech. Ziyech, can he get a shot off? No, he can't, Hakim Ziyech. Every time the ball goes into Hakim Ziyech, it just seems to slow the play down. It really does. Ziyech is going to whip one in there, and that's a poor ball in and easily cleared by Webster. And Brighton are able to take the ball up themselves and clear it. And that's a lovely ball looking down the line there from Joel Veltman, looking for Tyreek Lamptey, who was the furthest player up the pitch. But he's just slightly overhit that pass. Expect Brighton to start big. Not sure they'll be able to maintain it. No, me neither. But as we've discussed before, there is quite a lot in this Brighton side of goals that come in the last few moments. And I've just seen Curley's camera. That's really tickled me. Yeah, they've got goals in them at the end, right at the death. And so Chelsea need to make sure that they get themselves at least 1 or 2 goals ahead, because otherwise, we're going to have the same problems as we did in the last time out. Mason Mount now looking to play the ball down the line to Hudson-Odoi. I think that was intercepted and out of play. What do we all think to Mason Mount not going for a skin fade anymore? Typical. He just doesn't want to be like me. Veltman's going to take this throw in. It didn't actually take a deflection off the Brighton defender and went straight out of play. So it was really just a poor pass. But Brighton throw the ball straight back to Chelsea here. Kante flicks it forward. Bit of head tennis here between the few players. McAllister gets it down. Veltman plays it out for a Chelsea throw in. A little bit sloppy in these opening few minutes. After that nice interchange, I think I set my standards too high for this, but a little bit sloppy in places. Both teams struggling to keep the ball on the pitch. Thiago Silva hit. Azpilicueta gives the ball away. Easily read there by Dan Burn. And Dan Burn's going to hoof that one up clear, and that's gone out for another throw-in as well. What's gone wrong with Everton this season then? I really don't know. What's gone wrong with Everton. On paper, Rafa, probably a really well-suited manager, but I think it never looks good anyway when you're a former manager of your arch rival. For example, when Jose went to Spurs, it never looks good. Conte didn't look good, but you can still have a degree of success. But as soon as the rival fans start, or the regular fans, they start booing you, or the rivals start being like, yeah, Raphael, you lose your fans. And that's part of the problem as well, because Everton fans, they just have no time, or they don't want to waste their time on a manager who used to be in the red side of Liverpool, when in reality, they're looking for someone who should be a little bit better. Evening, Fraser. How are we doing? Mount trying to copy your beard, Sam. I know, I'm a trendsetter. It's a really weird one, though. I think you just give it Duncan Ferguson till the end of the season. I think that's it. Give it Moise till the end of the season. Or is it give it Giggsy? It's give it Giggsy, isn't it? Here it is. Rudiger here. Thiago Silva looking forward there. Chelsea making a few forward runs there. He rolls it into Ziyech. Ziyech looks to clip one up over towards Mason Mount there. And that's actually really good defending from Joel Veltman. Realised that Mason Mount had backed off him and indeed had actually not put the press on. And so he just let the ball go out of play for a Brighton goal kick. Like I said a minute ago, it's very, the ball isn't staying in play for a little while. And Chelsea will be wanting to improve in the final third because if you remember, I don't know if you've blocked this game out of your mind like I have, but the game against Manchester City at the weekend, Chelsea didn't register a single shot on target or a single shot for that matter in the first half and only registered one on target in the second half. And that'll tell you all you need to know about how much Chelsea over the last season or so have struggled to score goals through attackers rather than just Jorginho and Mason Mount. That's a lovely ball there from Moda looking for Danny Welbeck, but Kepa's come out nice and quick there to get down at the English striker's feet. Sam 1K likes for you to sing that. I mean, the thing is, I don't swear on my channel, do I? So I would sing it, and I have sang it multiple times before, but I'll sing it against Villa. Next time Josh gets me on the stream for a Villa game. Oh, yeah. I'll sing it then. What a way to get yourself kicked off the A View from the Stands channel. Thiago Silva whips the ball out wide to Azpilicueta, who's playing in a bit more of a familiar role for himself tonight, playing at that right centre-half role. I've spoken about a little bit over the last couple of days. Ziyech tried a little dummy there, but not quite on the same wavelength as Lukaku. What I've spoken about in the last couple of days, in the last couple of games, is the fact that there's this elbow formation, if you will, because Chelsea are struggling with the lack of fullbacks, that they almost play a four at the back with Azpilicueta as the elbow, and that is what they've been trying to do, so that Azpilicueta doesn't go as far up, and you almost have your three centre-backs, in whichever case would have been Rudiger, Christensen, Thiago Silva, and then you still have Marcus Alonso on the pitch, but Alonso then has that license to move further forward. And so I think it's a more familiar position for him tonight. No doubt he was able to play that position, but I think it will give him confidence as well, knowing that he can actually, take the ball and skip forward, different things, and move the ball around. We'll see if it sets up as a four at the back or if it. A bit clumsy there from Marcus Alonso in the penalty box. He likes to risk it for a chocolate biscuit, doesn't he? Josh says, just shared your stream on my community post, Sam. Oh, thanks, Josh. I really appreciate that. Thank you. And if anyone isn't subscribed to A View from the Stands, make sure to go over and subscribe to him as well and help him get towards that 5K goal. Good stuff. Let's see what you guys think. Who's going to win tonight? Let's have a look at the poll. 15 votes so far. 47%. That's a lot less than I expected, saying Chelsea, but 33%, a third of you still going with Brighton and Hove Albion. So that shows the indecision. And that maybe if you'd have asked this question in December, then you'd have gone, oh, absolutely. Obviously, the game before Chelsea and Brighton drew. But if you'd have said that, then you'd have been like, oh, absolutely. Chelsea are going to win. It's obvious. But now, looking at that form table as well, or the form calendar, which I'm now going to coin it the form calendar, you can see that there's a massive, massive difference in form. Cucurella looking forward there, looking for Danny Welbeck, overhit the pass though. It was the right idea though, right idea. You can see though, like I say, there's a massive sort of gulf in form from Chelsea from where they were in December to where they are now. Sam, are you going to sing Get Battered Everywhere They Go? I mean, maybe. They do get battered everywhere they go, though. Spurs do. Sam, Chelsea struggling. Yeah, they are at the moment. I wouldn't say they're struggling, but I'd just say they're in a bit of a sort of bumpy patch, and I think that's the best way to say it, that maybe things aren't quite clicking as they expected. And Kante might have won the ball back up high up the pitch here, but actually Alzate's done really well to regain his feet, and Chelsea give away a foul there. I believe that was Jorginho stepping up there. Yeah, I do agree with you. Chelsea are struggling, but I think we've seen Chelsea at a much worse position with managers, Jose Mourinho, for example, that drop off where we were nearly in the relegation zone after winning the title. So there's plenty of, room to get worse in that sense, but I do think Chelsea, it's just a few teething problems with the whole team in itself. You got to remember this team is very, very new. Lampard brought in 6-7 signings. Obviously, Tuchel's brought in a couple as well. Cucurella with a bit of space here. Again, Danny Welbeck looks like he's on it tonight. He looks absolutely on it like a carb on it. Maybe we should have signed Danny Welbeck over the January transfer window. It doesn't sound like Chelsea are commanding this. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think Kante is the only one really who's getting himself about and putting himself about at the moment. But that's really been the story of the last couple of games against Manchester City. It was like you were playing you're a 5-year-old child and you're playing your dad at FIFA. It was just that much of a annihilation. It just was. It really was. And it was like you couldn't get anywhere near him all of that first half. And really, really sort of poor performance from Chelsea. And I think Chelsea will be massively disappointed with that as well. But Brighton they've got lots of positives to take out of where they are. Obviously, like you can see on your screen, unbeaten in 4. That's a lovely ball looking for Lukaku here. Lukaku into Azpilicueta. Good effort there from the captain. Not a bad effort, actually, saying that was a centre-half, but not a bad effort at all. But yeah, I think there's lots of positives to take for Brighton to take out of this season so far. Sat in 9th, not out of sort of the hunt for maybe the Conference League spots. Is that what it's called? The Conference League? I don't know. I don't bother dealing with that league. So it isn't quite out of their reach, which is the important part, definitely the important part. And I think Brighton will have aspirations. And there are a lot of people who've been saying, oh, why don't Everton go in for Graham Potter, but pull the other one. That's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Chelsea with a corner here. Whipped in there by Callum Hudson-Odoi. Couldn't beat the man at the first post, though, or the front post, should I say. Sean's eating some toffee. Nice. Enjoy. Cucurella better than Nathan Ake. I mean, it's kind of comparing like a spanner with a sword there. I'm not going to lie to you. Or me playing you on FIFA, Sam. Yeah, exactly. And Shao, I don't trust you with that enough to say it. And Max saying, come on, Brighton. And Fraser is going for a 1-1 as well. So a lot of you calling this one as a close one. And I see it, but I've got to put my faith in the lads because, like I said at the beginning, this is definitely a must-win game for Chelsea. Definitely a must-win game because if they're going to have any aspirations of even finishing the top 4, they have to go pretty much flawless. If they have any aspirations of getting themselves second or first, then they absolutely have to go flawless for the end of the season. There's no doubt that they could do that, but whether they will is a completely different question. Hudson-Odoi here, back into Marcus Alonso. Rudiger with a bit of space, into Kante, the worst player on the ball in the whole club. Rolls it out wide to Azpilicueta, back into Kante again. Ziyech. Azpilicueta. Chelsea just starting to get themselves on the ball a little bit more here. Just build on that possession because for the opening, I could probably say for the opening 15 minutes, it's all been Brighton. It's all been Brighton. And as a result, Chelsea haven't really been able to get out or create anything. But now they've got themselves on the ball and hopefully they'll try and be patient, but also take shots when the opportunity arises. That was the big criticism, like I say, at the weekend. That Chelsea didn't have enough shots. If you don't shoot, you don't score. And that was the problem. Shah saying, I've never trusted by anyone. That's not my fault. That's not my fault. Mount plays it into Marcus Alonso here. Hudson-Odoi, can he get away from 2 men here? No, he can't. That's really good defending there by Webster. And Brighton look to play the way out again, and it's really well done. Lamptey looks to try go past Antonio Rudiger there, but sweeping up there was Ballon d'Or 3rd place winner, Jorginho. Sean asking, Sam, what's your favourite chocolate? And I'm going to be really, really boring here, Sean. But my favourite chocolate is genuinely, and I mean this, dairy milk. Cadbury's Dairy Milk. You just can't go wrong. You just can't go wrong. I'd say then my second favourite is, the crunchies that you get in Heroes. I love them. I love them. That's mine. What's your favourite? What's your? I imagine Sam saying flake, dairy milk. Knew it. Well, yeah, definitely. Max loves a cream egg. I hate cream eggs. I don't know what it is. It just. Ugh. Sometimes I can eat them and I'm like, yeah, actually, that was okay. And then sometimes I'm like, no, definitely not. Definitely not. If you haven't already as well, guys, do be sure to smash that like button for us. The aim for this stream is to get ourselves up to 15 likes. So if you could help contribute towards that, it doesn't cost you anything. It'd be nice to get the extra like. And of course, I did upload a video this afternoon. A video came out this afternoon and it was talking about Neymar, underrated or, well, what did I call it? Overhated or overrated? That's what I called it. So you guys decide, who is it? Who is it? There is going to be a poll going up on that for sentences. There is going to be a poll going up about that tomorrow morning. Brighton try to get themselves back on the ball, but Chelsea win it back nicely. Thiago Silva finds Mason Mount. Here is Alonso with a bit of room to gallop into. Alonso finds Callum Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi. Mount. Jorginho is going to switch one there. That's a great ball, actually, to find Hakim Ziyech. Ziyech. Azpilicueta. Jorginho. Chelsea just probing. Mount might have an opportunity to shoot it. Rolls instead to Hudson-Odoi, but really, really good defensive play there by Tariq Lamptey. And he's going to skip by a few players here. And Brighton might be able to counter-attack now with Jacob Moda. Here he goes, trying to go forward. Rudiger sticking close to him, though. That was brilliant play there from Tariq Lamptey, skipping by 2 or 3 players to move the ball on. Almost Mateo Kovacic-esque. I hate to say it was almost Mateo Kovacic-esque. Dropped his shoulder a couple of times, couple of step-overs, and he went from being at right-back to centre-mid with an opportunity to counter-attack. But Brighton haven't been able to make the most of this, and they've had to come back and sort of recycle the possession, and they've just given the ball away there to Mason Mount, and you don't want to do that. Jorginho looking to switch one, though, but Jorginho's like, you know what? I'll give it straight back to you. Cucurella finds Tariq Lamptey. Alzate, he's got a bit of room here. He might shoot. Rolls it instead to Lamptey. Lamptey's feet are so quick. I don't understand. Lamptey's going to try go down to the byline there. Pulls it back, looking for Danny Welbeck, who's in the box. That might fall to McAllister. Might fall to Welbeck again, and it's cleared this time by Chelsea. Thiago Silva, calm head in the box there. Can Chelsea counter-attack here? Kante looking for Romelu Lukaku, but Webster steps up. Brighton just starting to knock on the door of Chelsea a little bit here. Just starting to knock on the door. Neymar is so dog. Crunchy equals overrated. Chat. Someone put Shao on a 5-minute mute. I'm joking, of course. Sam, do you like dairy? Do you like dairy caramel? Oh, dairy milk caramel. Yes, I do actually. I didn't realize how much I liked them until this evening. This Christmas. That's what I meant to say. What did I say this evening? Coles Gunner, lovely to see you, mate. How are you doing? Says, evening all. Sam, who do you think Chelsea go for centre-back at this summer? Well, my initial thought would be to go for someone like a Jules Koundé, because obviously we were linked with him last summer. He wanted to come to the club. But with Diego Carlos looking like he's on the way out, I think it's going to be less likely that we will be able to get someone like that. And then the question is it someone like a Matthias de Ligt? Do you go in for someone like that, someone who's going to be a staple player in your team? I think de Ligt definitely has the quality to be in this team. He's not a regular first-team player at the moment in Turin. So who's to say it wouldn't be? Obviously, de Ligt, why not set your sights high? It's Chelsea, of course. Lovely ball in behind there to Azpilicueta, and not quite the right ball in. But yeah, that's what I think. I think you go for, if you can't get Koundé, go for someone like a de Ligt. Or just go for a de Ligt in the first place. That'd be delictful. Okay, I'll shut up. Alonso here, swiftly moving on. Yeah, I saw people just left the stream there. I get that one. Newcastle going all in, Balotelli. Yeah. Just Newcastle are just going to be linked with everyone this window. They'll just try anything. It's better than not trying. Kante. switches the play, looking for Marcus Alonso. Good touch there by Marcus Alonso. He's going to whip one in, and that's straight into the hands, though, of Sanchez, the Spanish goalkeeper. Not bad, Sam. Thanks, Shah. I knew you'd appreciate it. Not a bad play from Chelsea there. A little bit too close to the goalkeeper, though, from Sanchez. From Alonso, who just easily found the hands of Sanchez. It made it really easy, that cross. Not bad from Chelsea, but again, they've yet to really test Sanchez and really ask a few questions. And obviously that was a big criticism at the weekend of them. Gulls Gunner says, delightful, awful, but good answer. Yeah, I'd also chuck money at Rudiger. Yeah, I absolutely would. That was just me thinking, if they've both gone, him and Christensen and potentially Aspilicueta as well. I'd definitely chuck the money at Rudiger, give him what he wants, because he's one of those players you'd rather have on your team than not like on the opposition team, because he's so frustrating as well. Like, I love him. He's a knobhead, but he's hilarious. Like, he genuinely is. He's the definition of that meme. He's brilliant. Thank you. See, Sam, even Gulls is on your account. I know, legend. Good stuff, Gulls. Thanks for coming over. Rudiger lives rent-free in my head, says Josh. Yes, that doesn't surprise me. I love it. I love it from Rudiger. And it's my favourite thing, because I'll literally send something to Erin, and Erin will be like, why does Rudiger always get involved in every fight? And she'll literally like send stuff, and it's just Rudiger in a fight with someone else, and it's a different clip I haven't seen. Oh, good stuff. I love Rudiger. But yeah, I totally agree. We need to chuck the money at him. He's getting himself up there where you're now questioning, is he starting to go into that world-class bracket? For me, world-class bracket, potentially for centre-halves, is probably, you'd say, top five players in a position. So then you'd have, I think top five is probably fair for a centre-half, and then full-backs, I'd probably say like top three. That would be world-class, that type of level. But can we all agree Bruno and Zaha are the biggest prats in the Premier League? I saw a comment about that, actually, about Wilfried Zaha, and someone like highlighted, that's a great ball from Marcus Alonso, and Ziyech unfortunately can't get a touch on that as he's running through. And I agree, on the pitch, Zaha really does have poor handling on his aggression, absolutely. But in terms of actually off the pitch, when you see some of the stuff he does, he donates something like 15% of his stuff to charity. So that's the one thing that now has made me go, actually, maybe he's not as bad. Maybe he isn't as bad. 24 people in the stream. If you haven't already, guys, do be sure to leave a comment. Let us know your score predictions for tonight's game. And do be sure, if you do enjoy, to smash that like button and hit subscribe. You can always unsubscribe at any point. Here's Alzate looking to clip one over, looking for Danny Welbeck. Danny Welbeck might be in here, and he's just fluffed his lines right at the final important moment there. Just fluffed his lines. He might have been offside. No, definitely not offside. I think he just needs to put his laces through that one. And get a good connection on it. But he's just tried to hook it. I think what he's tried to do is, as the ball goes over the top, rather than sort of catch it as it comes back down, because he's not hit it when it first comes down, he's had to try jump up and hit it in the air. So, lovely touch from Romelu Lukaku. Sorry, I didn't know what part of his body that had touched there. It like bounced off his back. Ziyech is going to whip one in there. Lukaku's in the box. It might fall to Mason Mount. Cleared, though, this time by Veltman. Chelsea do regain possession once again. Come on, Danny, lads. Love a bit of Welbeck. I think loads of people, for some reason, have a soft spot for Danny Welbeck, and I'm not quite sure on why. But yeah, to be honest with you, Danny Welbeck, he infuriates me, because he just seems to score at vital moments. One of my favourite Danny Welbeck moments was actually on one of these streams, where one of my mates, who was a United fan, Ziyech is going to shoot from range. Oh my God, I thought that was in. Is it in? What? That's in! Oh my God! What? Nah, that's no way that's got in. What? Hakim Ziyech from about 20 yards out. What? It was the way the ball bounced back out. It just looked like it hit the side netting. Oh, I've had a mare. I've absolutely had a mare. I have to watch this again. I have to watch this again. It's rolled into Ziyech. Ziyech plays it back into Kante. Kante then rolls it to him at the edge of the box, and Ziyech shoots. And it does go in. What a strike! Right into the bottom corner. Questions around Sanchez there. But credit where credit's due. This is what I mean. Take the shot, she score the goals. That's what I was saying all against Manchester City. If you take the shot, she score the goals. And Hakim Ziyech has just proven it there with an absolute peach of a strike. He didn't even celebrate it either. He genuinely didn't celebrate it. It wasn't like Josh when he said João Cancelo didn't celebrate it. I literally just had the opposite moment there of Josh, and I literally didn't celebrate a goal because I didn't realise it had gone in. What are the chances? I literally had no clue that had hit the back of the net because the way it rebounded, it looked like it rebounded off, the poles that like go up the side of the back of the goal, which hold up the net. It looked like it had just been saved, pushed around the corner. It does come through a few bodies, and I think it clips the knee of McAllister on the way through. So actually, I think I'll let Sanchez off with that one, I think I'll let him off because I think it takes one deflection off his knee, and then, of course, that completely sends it the wrong way. And he's already scrambling across his goal anyway, and it's come through the body of McAllister. So I think it is a little bit questionable around the goalkeeping. Cucurella is going to whip this one in here. Tyreek Lamptey at the back post there. But Chelsea defending strong. As I say that, Marcos Alonso gives away a foul. Of course he does. Thank you, Marcos. Thank you for proving my point earlier. Honestly, that has absolutely blown my mind that even went in. It was just like the most lackadaisical shot. It was almost like he was taking a shot at his child. It was in the goal, and you just sort of like roll it towards the goal, make him save it to feel good. It's a half decent strike, but it's not a fantastic strike, is it? Let me know what you guys think. Have I just completely undersold Hakim Ziyech for no reason whatsoever there? Let me know, because I think I might have done. But Brighton with an opportunity here to take a throw in. I'm just updating the scoreboard for you guys, and we'll get them all updated. Brighton with a free kick. Sorry, did I say a throw in? I meant a free kick. McAllister is going out to whip this one in. It's cleared, though, at the front post by Thiago Silva. McAllister headers it back in, collides with Callum Hudson-Odoi there, and McAllister's just gone down holding his chest there as he's fallen down. Hopefully that's okay. Where are the comments? Sturridge and Welbeck greater than Chelsea. That's in, says Shah. Right, thank you. I got that one now. The Wiki Ticky says, damn, what a finish. Lovely to see you. Thank you for coming over from Josh's channel. Hope you're doing well, mate. Hope you're doing well. He has, hasn't he, Oliver? What was he laughing at? You meant to celebrate when they go in. Keeper has to do better. He's got a whole hand on that. Yeah, that's what I think. That's what I mean. Like, I was caught so off guard by it going in. It was like, what? Oh my gosh, he's flapped at that as well. There was a cross there, whipped in by Marcos Alonso, and it's just flapped at by Sanchez, and it fell out to Jorginho. And of course, Jorginho can't score if it's from the penalty spot. Sam doesn't celebrate his own club's goals. How rude! I do. I just didn't realise it had got in. I literally had the reverse of that goal which Josh had the other day with Cancelo, which had me in stitches. Sam only celebrates when Mount scores. Very true. Very true. Sam, you're supposed to be a hooligan screaming and destroying stuff. That's what a hooligan is, right? Pretty much, yeah. Let's see what Brighton do. They shoot like they've got target boards in the stands. Wiki Brighton final third are horrid to watch, but quality in the other two. Agree with that one. And don't deserve that, says Josh. Says Max, sorry, as well. Oh, well, I'm baffled that went in. I'm still baffled. Long ball over the top there, looking for Moda. Really well played there, actually, by Kepa. Really, really well played. I'll give him credit where credit's due there. He came out, got his head on it, put it out for a throw-in. Big and brave by the Spanish goalkeeper. Big and brave. Sam celebrating louder than a Man City fan. That is very true, actually. You cannot criticise that. That was very true. I was as loud as the entirety of the Etihad when they scored the other day. So that is a point. Thank you, Curly. Veltman to take a throw in here. Into Moda, who seems to be involved in most of the attacking play for Brighton. Here's McAllister on the edge of the box. He's going to try find a way to pass it to Lamptey. Here is Lamptey. He's going to try go round Marcus Alonso, clips it back in. Danny Welbeck is in there, but it's cleared away by Brighton once again. By Chelsea once again. Lamptey on the ball again. It keeps falling back out to Brighton at the moment. They just don't seem to have, like the Wiki Tiki and Josh were talking about, they don't quite seem to have that final third pass. That's what they're just lacking at the moment. There's a handball in there, so if that actually ends up being anything, I think it'll be ruled out for a handball, but it's actually gone out for a Chelsea throw-in anyway, so ignore that. Wrong areas. Sam, when are Chelsea's attacking mids going to show some more class? Ziyech, Pulisic, Havertz, Hudson-Odoi, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, all 7 out of 10 at best. Totally agree with you, mate. I totally agree with you, Gulls. It's frustrating. I think Pulisic, I keep saying this, lockdown Pulisic was a different breed. He was an absolute different breed. He was phenomenal in Project Restart, and then he got injured again, and it's just stunted him. I think Pulisic is probably the most likely out of those to really kick on. Havertz, to me, he just looks completely out of it. He doesn't look like he's anywhere near the level of footballer that we expected. They have potential. Yeah, I totally agree. They do have potential. Ziyech, for me, has been the biggest disappointment of them all, though, because Ziyech is a player who has been in that Ajax side performing so well for so many years. And so he came with a massive wealth of experience, and he was a massive caliber player, and he's come in and he's just not really been fantastic. Obviously the goal tonight was a lovely little finish. Questions around the goalkeeping, of course, but it's a very difficult one, isn't it? It is a very difficult one, and I think Ruben Loftus-Cheek as well started to show it this season. Hudson-Odoi, for me, I think maybe, I don't know if Chelsea's the right club for him. I hate to say it. I love Callum Hudson-Odoi, but I don't know if he's going to get the game time and if Chelsea play in the right formation for Callum Hudson-Odoi, because I don't want his career to go stagnant like some other Chelsea youngsters that we've seen in recent years, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, for example. But yeah, I totally agree. They do need to start showing some class, and that's part of the reason that Chelsea do struggle, because they have to rely on Mason Mount and Timo Werner even to really push on forward and actually do well, which is very, very frustrating. What can Brighton do then? It's been an okay response since going 1-0 down, 35 minutes on the clock. 7 is generous. Havertz was 72 mil and isn't talked about like Pepe. Pulisic is too injury prone to have any consistency. Ziyech needs the team to be suited to him. Callum Hudson-Odoi wets himself up front. I know what you mean. If I had to rank them all individually, I think the only person for his time in a Chelsea shirt that I could give a 7 out of 10 for when they're fit is Pulisic. Sorry, Ziyech for me 5 out of 10. He's not been great. Havertz, it gets propelled up because obviously he scored in the Champions League final, but that'd still be a 5-6 out of 10. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, I think it's unfair to judge on that. Obviously, he's now played 100 games actually for Chelsea, so maybe we should be judging him on that. But he's just not had a sustained period in the team. And there's no doubt of the player in Ruben Loftus-Cheek as well. Every time you see him play, Ruben Loftus-Cheek looks really good, especially in a Chelsea shirt. But I feel like he's one of those players who maybe suits being in a good team rather than actually being good in lower down teams. Not like he wouldn't be able to do like Adam Lallana is and has gone down to a team that like Brighton, who maybe aren't as good and still perform to the same level. That is my question around Ruben Loftus-Cheek. But I totally agree. I think 7 is a generous one. Like I say, I think only Pulisic, fit Pulisic, can get a 7 for his overall time. Cucurella at the edge of the box here. Tackled nicely though by Kante. Here's Alzate. Lovely play there to find Cucurella again. It's going to be clipped in there. Danny Welbeck's in there. So's Tariq Lamptey, who climbs on Marcus Alonso just a little bit to get himself propelled up in the air there. Had to do everything he can at, 5'7". Pascal Gross here is trying to shrug off Rudiger, and he's done well there actually, Pascal Gross, to get himself a throw-in deep inside the Chelsea half. Veltman. Gross. They've all been, yeah. I agree. Havertz isn't suited for the Prem. Neither is Ziyech. Their quality isn't the question. They just don't suit the league. Yeah, I think as well they don't suit the formation. Like, I think Havertz, he either needs to be that focal point or he needs to be that number 10 by himself. And he doesn't suit this. He doesn't suit running into the channels. Everyone compares him to Berbatov and says he has that, or that time slows down around him. Apparently he has that. And if that is true, why are we playing him as almost a right winger? Kepa living life a little bit dangerously there. Chelsea trying to play out from the back always doesn't fill me with confidence here, but that's really well played actually by Thiago Silva to drop his shoulder. Gives it to Kante. Oh, God. Brighton looking to put on that press. Ruben Loftus-Cheek needs to move on now. He's going to be stagnated for too long. He's never going to be a Chelsea quality player. I mean, maybe that's what Ruben Loftus-Cheek has to look at. Maybe he has to look at, and maybe the fairy tale isn't going to be there for him. Cucurella plays it into Danny Welbeck. Welbeck looks to shoot. He cuts inside on that right foot and blazes one over, unfortunately. Yeah, I know what you mean, Wiki Tiki. It's a difficult one with Ruben Loftus-Cheek because he is a Chelsea boy and he loves Chelsea as a football club. But it's then, when do you give up on your dreams to make sure that you enjoy your career? Because I think that'll be Loftus-Cheek's. If he retires from the end of his career, having played 200 games for Chelsea, I don't think he'll be unhappy with it. But I think he'll think, what if? How could I progress? How could I have done better? And I think that is the problem with Loftus-Cheek. And as much as us Chelsea fans love having him there and think he's a brilliant player, is he really going to be able to outlast Jorginho, Kante, Kovacic? Kovacic, who's a similar age. Jorginho and Kante are about to turn 30 if they've not already. So Kante, Jorginho, another 2 seasons, that takes Ruben Loftus-Cheek to 28, nearly 29. Then you've got a player there who's should really have been kicking on about now, to be honest with you. Sean says, Sam, have you got any pets? No, I don't. We used to have a dog and we used to have a rabbit, but unfortunately they both passed away in 2018. But life goes on, doesn't it? But I definitely don't here. I'm not allowed pets at this flat, unfortunately. Ziyech skipping by a couple of players here. That's better from Hakim Ziyech, but really good tracking back, actually, by Danny Welbeck. Danny Welbeck? Did I just say Danny Welbeck? Here is Danny Welbeck again, trying to get away from Kante, and Kante's done really well, actually, there, but Moda's able to keep the ball in play, looking down the line for Cucurella, and Aspilicueta kicks it out. Where's Milo? Milo was never my pet, Curly. He was never my pet, but he was a friend's pet who we were looking after. He just happened to be in quite a couple of streams. 41 minutes on the clock. We are going to go for a halftime game today because last time, basically, let me go grab them for you. Let me go grab them. So basically, blimey. So basically, what I got for Christmas for the halftime game, when it is halftime, Chelsea just trying to play the way out of the back from here. Ziyech with a switch there to Marcus Alonso. What a ball that was. Blimey. Milo for Everton manager, absolutely. Rudiger. Jorginho. Chelsea not going to look to hit him on the counter-attack. Love a halftime game, says Goals. Yeah, so basically, I've got these. It's like top trump style cards. And basically, I'll go through and I'll pick out a few players. And they've got different questions, varying difficulties. And you've just got to try and guess the answer. It makes it nice and easy for me. Some of them aren't too hard. Some of them are a little bit harder than others. And there are 2 questionable players in this pack. But, you know, we'll give it a go. We'll give it a go and see what you guys think. You guys will have to keep score of how many you've got correct. And we will see, won't we? We will see how it goes. There's an array of players. If it's too easy, we might go to a few more of the sort of the legendary players. Because, obviously, I would assume the vast majority of my audience is a little bit younger than myself or a similar age to myself. So. Did I hear that stat right? Did I just hear that stat right? Did he say 7th time or 2nd time that Romelu Lukaku's touched the ball? Can someone Can someone check that? How many times has Lukaku touched the ball? Either way, it's not very good. But I thought he said 2nd. I think he said 7th. Evening, Louis. How we doing, mate? He says Jorginho is 10 out of 10. 3rd best player in the world, Sam. Exactly. He is third best player in the world. There is never any debate, right? Right? Yeah, I think there is. Chelsea just seem to be taking their time here. They don't look like they've got the urgency to go forward at the moment. And like that stat, the seventh of the second time, it shows that Lukaku's not really going to get on the ball much. Jorginho is fantastic. And Sammy made me laugh. Oh, thanks, Sean. At least I've achieved something today. And Curly's going to be right back. He's going to find out how many touches Lukaku's had for me. Brilliant. Brilliant stuff. I don't think it's many. I really don't think it's many. Chelsea trying to play their way out from the back again. Tariq Lamptey is literally in the right wing back position and has, I think it's Veltman right behind him, and both of them are miles up the pitch. On Who Scored, it says he had 6 songs, so I assume it meant 7. That is mental. He's only had 7 touches in this first half. Josh Ring spoke about Danny Ings the other night not having many touches. Romelu Lukaku has had 7 touches in this first half. I wonder where the problem is. Is the problem, let me know in the chat, is the problem with Lukaku or is it with the way that Chelsea play? Here's an 8th touch though for him. Hudson-Odoi might be able to get a shot off. Oh, he's put it over. He should have hit the target there. He definitely should have hit the target there. 100% in my eyes. Should have hit the target there. Callum Hudson-Odoi, wasted opportunity. Oh, that's unfortunate. But Lukaku does well actually to distribute that. But Hudson-Odoi took the angle a bit too wide. And to be honest with you, give credit where credit's due to I think that was Webster doing his covering. Shah says he's got some bad news. Oh, what is it, Shah? What is it? I can't stop laughing. I don't know what made you laugh, Sean, but thank you. Marcus Alonso gets tackled there easily, and Tyree Lamptey might be able to go the other way, and he just skips past Jorginho as if he's not there. I mean, it's not hard, to be honest, is it? And here goes Tyree Lamptey again. He's going to outrun Rudiger this time. Is he? No, he's not. Rudiger, really well played, actually, there. Stretched his legs out as well. Bruno Fernandes has rejected a new contract and wants to leave in the summer. Oh, that is massive. That is massive news, Shah. That's unfortunate for United fans, but that is huge. Let me know, guys. What do you think to that? Oh, my gosh. Bruno Fernandes. Wow. Who'd have thought? Not me. Danny Welbeck has had 19 touches. He's the GOAT, that's why. Danny Welbeck's been really involved in this first half. Brighton do have themselves a corner following that. We've had 1 minute of added time, but it will be half-time in a second. There's just a word being spoken to N'Golo Kante, and I believe that's Alzate there from this corner. Just waiting a little bit. They've got 2 people out to take this corner. That was weird. Pascal Gross whips it in. He's hit a few headers there. And I think that's half-time. It is half-time. Is it? Oh, now he's giving it his half-time. Blimey. He took his time there. He blew for a free kick and then went, all right, we've run out, we've run out of time. So, blimey. Absolutely mental. But there we are. It is half-time. It's Chelsea 1. It's Brighton 0. And let me know, guys, what are your thoughts on that first half? Should Chelsea be further ahead? Do you feel Brighton are unlucky to be behind? Let me know your thoughts. And where can, in terms of a Chelsea perspective, if there are any other Chelsea fans in here, where can Chelsea improve? Because there's a lot of talk about this Chelsea side, as we've spoken about earlier, a lot of talk about this Chelsea side, but who knows where it can go. The Wiki Tiki says, Lukaku isn't the striker you needed. He thrives in the counter-attack team because he is dreadful on the ball. Majority of the time, Chelsea come up against low blocks and he's not good enough. It does seem like, I think there was a quote the other day that came out that apparently of the list of strikers, Lukaku wasn't one that Thomas Tuchel asked for. He said he wasn't against signing Romelu Lukaku, but he wasn't one that he was looking for. And so that begs the question of who made the decision to go and do that, because it most certainly wasn't Thomas Tuchel, was it? It definitely wasn't. Bruno's overrated anyways. Always tries to do this last action hero ball. Wouldn't surprise me, to be honest with you. I don't really watch too much of Bruno Fernandes, but we will move on, and we're gonna have a bit of a halftime game here. So last week we did have a travesty because one of the players a certain player who's been banned and would be in prison, was the player on the back. So I'm going to make sure that he's not there because I don't want to give that person any more thingy time than they deserve, which is none. However, Sam, do you miss Tammy Abraham? Every day I miss Tammy Abraham. However, I'm going to look through, and what do we want to do? So basically, the idea is we've done this Mo Salah one on the last one. So as you can see here, although my green screen's messing up because it thinks it's there, there's questions on the front, there's answers on the back. Do we want to do exclusively Chelsea players, or would you like a mixture? I can pick out like 3-5 different players. What do we reckon? Obviously, it's you guys against yourselves. It's just a little bit of a quiz. See if you're good enough see if you're good enough to compete. See if you're good enough to compete. I'm going to, this one has got a few legends in it as well. So I've just seen, that wasn't a good example because obviously Buffon's still playing, but there's like Gerrard in here and Lampard and players like that. They're also still in here. So let's shuffle, and I'll pick out 3 cards at random. We will go with, as you can see, we'll go with this one. Whoever that is, we'll go with Eden Hazard. We'll go with this one, and we will go with, oh no, that's the same person twice. We'll go for someone else. And we'll go with that one. There we are. Right. So, in essence, guys, it's just a quiz. Each card is literally just a quiz. So, there's questions 1 to 5. I don't know if they tend to get harder as the 5th one, but some of them are obviously completely obvious for you guys. So, make sure to spam the chat as soon as possible. Don't use anyone else. Don't use anyone else. We do have Ronaldo in this set. I believe Ronaldo is one of the players who came out. He is, yes. Chelsea do this all the time, signing players for managers. Lampard had Havertz and Werner dumped on him, and he couldn't figure out where to play them. Very true. Don't get me wrong, Lampard isn't a good manager. Wow. Heaping that in on us. But the first player we're going to start off with is Eden Hazard. Eden Hazard, rumoured to be moving, potentially could be off on his way to Newcastle, potentially on his way back to Chelsea. But the first question in this halftime game is, which of Hazard's parents were footballers? His mother, his father, or both? Wow, that's a question 1. I think that's quite a hard one. Admittedly, it's a choice of 3. But was it his mother, his father, or both that were footballers? God, could you imagine if it was both? The footballing gene in that family would be mental, because both of his siblings are. And what? Ghana just lost. Party is back. Oh, that's fortunate for you, isn't it, Wiki Tiki? Let's have a look. Curly's going with both, going all in. Fraser's saying mother. Shah's saying dad. And by the way, it's a no to Googling it because that would not be a quiz. Shah saying dad. His dad played for Milk Football Club. Nice. Did he play for Garden FC or Dragon FC by any chance? Fraser's going mother. Gull's going mother. Hi, Shafter Plays. How are you doing, mate? How are you doing? The question we're answering at the moment, whilst it's the halftime show, is which of Hazard's parents were footballers? His mother, his father, or both? And Oliver going dad. A lot of you backing dad. Let's have a look. So the answer to that first one, the question was, which of Hazard's parents were his mother, his father, or both? His football stars. Lovely to see you, football stars. Why do you always change your name? Is both. Wow. Let me read it. His mother played in the Belgians women's first division, and his father played in Belgians men's second division. I mean, now that you've said that, I'm not surprised that either of his brothers are both famous footballers as well, because that is some good football in gene pool, isn't it? That'd be like Alphonso Davies and his girlfriend. Well done, Curly. I think Curly was the only one who got that one in the first round. So congratulations, Curly. Good stuff. Love to see it. And football stars also got it as well. So good stuff. The second one is Hazard was the 4th Belgian in Chelsea's squad when he joined in 2012. Name I'm going to say name all of the other players. This says one, but I'm going to say name all of the other players because you guys are your footballing experts here. So you've got to guess it. There is, obviously, he was the fourth. So that'll give you a clue of how many there is. Curly says, I might just dip here. It's going to go downhill. Make sure you get them all in. Do them all in one go. Do them all in one go. Can you think of who they are? Eden Hazard was the fourth Belgian in Chelsea's squad when he joined in 2012. Name the three others. Lukaku, Courtois. Oh, can they get it? Can they get it? I'll give you the clue that you've got two of them right. Suarez. Yes, Luis Suarez, the Belgian. If you are just joining us, it's halftime show, by the way. Brighton versus Chelsea. Chelsea 1-0 up. A Hakim Ziyech goal, which caught me by surprise and caught everyone by surprise. Well, at least I hope I did. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to smash that like button for us and do subscribe as well. The question, Oliver, is Hazard was the fourth Belgian in Chelsea's squad when he joined in 2012. Name the other three players. And Max has just given away the final one. Exactly, the final one. Max has just given it away. I will confirm to you it was Romelu Lukaku, Kevin De Bruyne, and Thibaut Courtois. They were the three players. Thorgan Hazard actually signed for Chelsea after Eden Hazard did. And lovely spelling there, Curly. Lovely spelling of Courtois. Question 3 is, which London club was the opposition when Hazard scored Chelsea's goal of the season in 2016-17. Some of you might have an advantage in this one because some of you might have had the goal scored against you. 2016-17 season. Who was the club which Eden Hazard scored Chelsea's goal of the season in the 2016-17 season? Fraser going Spurs. Oh, I know who Fraser's thinking of. He's thinking of that absolute belter, isn't he? But that would have been 15-16, the one that stopped Spurs from winning the league. That would have been 15-16. Sean going Fulham. Why not have a pot shot? The Wiki Ticky going Arsenal. Max is going Spurs as well. Keep the answers flooding in fast. Keep the answers going. Has anyone got it? Has anyone got it at all? Let's find out. Coles says, Arsenal question mark. Wiped it from my memory if so. No surprises there, mate. No surprises. And Oliver's gone with Arsenal as well. And so has Schrafter. So I can reveal to you, Wiki Ticky did get on correct at first. And it was Arsenal. It was the one from the halfway line. I'm assuming the weaving one. I'm assuming that was that season. That was that season. That's what I'm assuming. And let's have a look. Next question, fourth question. Eden Hazard question is. So congratulations to everyone who got Arsenal. That was the correct answer. It was when he spun Coquelin like a Beyblade. He did. That is such a shout. You're a man of culture, aren't you, Wiki Ticky? A man of culture. So, fourth question. What was unusual about Eden Hazard being sent off in a 2013 Cup game? What was unusual about Eden Hazard being sent off in a 2013 Cup game? What was unusual about it? How many likes are we on? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. 38 people in the stream. Thanks for the support, everyone. Really do appreciate it. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to smash that like button and hit subscribe. And, of course, get in the chat as well. Why not get in the chat and join in with the halftime game? And, of course, get in with all the discussion throughout the game. Let's have a look. And Gull says, oof, just watched it. Good goal. Absolutely. And Oliver says, I got this one. Fraser says, Swansea, he kicked the ball boy. A ball boy, he got angry. He kicked the ball boy. He most certainly did. He most certainly did. In one of the most iconic Eden Hazard Chelsea moments. He most certainly did. And the final question, Eden Hazard-based question, is, which team did Eden Hazard play for before joining Chelsea? Which team did Eden Hazard play for before joining Chelsea? Who knows the answer? Kicking a ball boy for time wasting. Exactly. What a weird time that was. I can't believe that was 2013 as well, nearly 10 years ago since Eden Hazard decided the ball boy was good enough as a football himself. Surprising. And the final one is, who did Eden Hazard play for before he joined Chelsea? I nearly said Chelsea wrong there, didn't I? Blimey. Let me just, whilst you guys get that thingy in, I will just make sure I've updated the scoreboard already for the second half on this final question. And then once you've got it all in, guys, I will reveal it to you. But whilst I'm just doing this, let me know as well. Do you want the two players are Ibrahimovic or Cristiano Ronaldo? We're probably only going to get time for one more, I would assume. So let me know. Do you prefer Cristiano Ronaldo or Ibrahimovic? Who do you want the questions on? I don't even know who will be more difficult at this point, to be honest with you. I don't really know who will be more difficult, but I'm sure you guys will tell me which one you want. Who do you prefer? Who do you want? All right, back to StreamYard. We'll just update this. And yes, it is Lille. Congratulations to everyone who got that right. Good stuff. You guys know your Eden Hazard knowledge. Did anyone get 5 out of 5 on your Eden Hazard knowledge? Anyone get 5 out of 5? Any 4 out of 5s? Please don't split bang in the middle and all go for one or the other. So we've got 1 vote for Ibra, 1 vote for Ronaldo, 1 vote for Ibra. Oh, Schrafter trying to play us again. Schrafter got, yeah, nice. 4 out of 5. Right, we've had 3-1. We'll go Ibra. Just before we get ourselves back underway. First one, really piece of cake, this one for you. What nationality is Ibrahimovic? Easy peasy, as you like. If someone don't get this one. Ooh. That one's a good question. Let me read them through. Ooh. Swedish. Absolutely. Good stuff, everyone. Move on to the second one. Won't dilly-dally on that one. Move on to the second one. Manchester United are Ibrahimovic's 8th club, or were Ibrahimovic's 8th club at the time, because these are a little bit old. Name 3 others. The teams are about to come back out as well. So name 3 others. Sam, are you going to invite any fans on backstage? I will do at some point. Just at the moment, the way that it works is I actually don't have. So the way that my banners work is I basically have to have someone in. So if you look here, it's like I've got another person in the stream. And so it picks up my mic on both. So it sounds awful for anyone to join me. But I will do in the future. And Simon's a new sub. We are underway in the second half. I forgot to start the timer, just as he says, great fun live stream. But lovely to have you, Simon. Who are you? Are you a Chelsea supporter? Are you a Brighton supporter? Or are you just there just to have a laugh and hoping to laugh at Chelsea? Do let me know. And Brighton start off quickly, and it's rolled into Danny Welbeck. Oh. That was an opportunity, I tell you what. That was an opportunity, man. Already. Gulls are gonna saying Inter, PSG, Barcelona. Correct. Barcelona, AC, and Inter. Absolutely. Ajax, Inter, AC. PSG, Barcelona, Inter. AC Milan, LA Galaxy, Inter. And Milan, Barca, LA Galaxy, and Simon is a Brighton fan. So we'll leave the halftime games there. Hope you did enjoy that. Of course, we'll try and rattle through a few more. We've got plenty of cards. This is just one half of the thing. So we've got, that's Dembele before anyone questions it. we have got, where's the camera? There it is. We have got all of these to get through, and there's another half as well. So we'll have plenty of halftime games to come. So if you did enjoy that, like I say, be sure to drop a like for us and do subscribe. Simon, what have you been thinking to Brighton in this first half? What have you made to it? Are you happy with the first half performance? Obviously, you won't be overly happy, but are you happy with the way that they've come out? Curly says Welbeck could have had Welbeck could have had a hat trick. There we are. He could have been. Zlatan's been everywhere. Zlatan has been everywhere. That was a let-off. Welbeck has to do better. Totally agree with you there, Wiki Ticky. Has to at least hit the target. Hayden Whittle podcast show says, hi, evening to you. How are you doing, mate? How are you doing? I cannot speak. If I speak, I'm in big trouble. That's why. Jorginho tries to spin away there, and he might have won himself a corner there. Looking towards the linesman, but the linesman's giving it as a goal kick. Brighton beat Man City 3-2. Did they? When was this? Oh, he's actually gone against the linesman here, and he's given it as a Chelsea corner here. So potentially an opportunity for Chelsea to get their noses in front a little bit further. Get that little cushion. That's all you need, really, isn't it? Here comes the corner from Mason Mount, looking for the head of Romelu Lukaku. Might fall to Hakim Ziyech. Oh, it's blocked. I thought that was going to fly in. Oh, I was so excited. Ziyech scores one goal, and I just all of a sudden, I'm absolutely thinking he's going to score from everywhere. Here's Hakim Ziyech again, trying to work away onto that left foot. Finds Jorginho. Jorginho back to Ziyech, trying to go around Moda. Really good defensive play, though, by Moda, and he manages to find Cucurella, and they might be able to counter-attack themselves here. McAllister finds Cucurella, who finds Danny Welbeck, but Danny Welbeck's just walked himself into trouble there. You don't want to walk towards N'Golo Kante. Evening, PAFC. Looking forward to playing you in the next round of the FA Cup, mate. Are you nervous? Played well, but as you know, we score in the 91st minute, lol. Yep, we've discussed that earlier on. I'm nervous at 1-0. I'm probably more nervous than I was at 0-0, if I'm honest with you, Simon. West Ham get battered everywhere they go. Sean's looking for a rise. My ears for a second. Why did I put my earbuds in? Sorry, Fraser. Sorry. Blame Hakim Ziyech for giving me hope. Looks like Chelsea and Liverpool are getting 2 stinky wins. Probably. And Zlatan will still be playing in 2060. Lol, imagine if he does. How old would he be then? He'd be like, well, if he's 40 now, he would be like 82. Quick math. Wow. Imagine playing football at 82. That's King Kazu level, that. King Kazu level. Rudiger here. Brighton still putting that press on. I wonder if they can maintain this for the whole game. We know they did it in the last game. Danny Welbeck definitely did. But Chelsea, the longer this game goes on, as Simon's just pointed out, the more this sort of falls into Brighton territory, doesn't it? We know Brighton will score late. They've done it against Palace before. They've done it against Chelsea before. They've done it against every team in the league before. So who's to say they're not going to do it tonight? Chelsea needs to be very, very careful. Hudson-Odoi, lovely drop of the shoulder there to get away from Veltman. Poor pass, though, really easily intercepted there by Tariq Lamptey, his former youth teammate. Mason Mount trying to battle to get the ball back, but really well played. And McAllister looks forward. What a ball that is. Over to the top to Danny Welbeck. Danny Welbeck, can he get a shot off there? He's outrunning Thiago Silva, but Thiago Silva puts his shoulder in the way and shoulder barges him off the ball and causes all types of problems. But Danny Welbeck running in behind looks an absolute threat, doesn't he? He always looks a threat, and Chelsea might be able to go up the other way. Here's Callum Hudson-Odoi. He's going to look to cut in on that right foot, but instead he's had to come all the way back to Jorginho there. He needs to be more positive, Callum Hudson-Odoi. That's a massive criticism of his. He does need to be more positive. What everyone could do is play football until they're 80. Imagine. If everyone could do that, imagine. PAFC said, looking forward for Chelsea versus Plymouth. Exactly. Should be a good game. Looking forward to it. Hopefully you'll be in the chat, and hopefully we can have a bit of banter about it in that game. Marcus Alonso looks to whip that one in. It might fall to Lukaku there. Doesn't. Heads out towards Cesar Azpilicueta. Chelsea recycle possession yet again. They're being a little bit patient at the moment, but on the counter-attack, don't Brighton look deadly? You cannot tell me they don't look deadly. Mount finds Ziyech. Ziyech has a bit of room here. Really good tackle there by Cucurella, and Ziyech on his way down there did give away a foul, but the referee's chosen to play on. Here's Cucurella again, who headers the ball through to Danny Welbeck. They're so fast in transition, Brighton. I'm really impressed with them so far tonight. Excuse me. McAllister finds Pascal Gross. Tariq Lamptey's on the right-hand side. He's going to try confuse Marcos Alonso. Doesn't take much, though. Into Moda. Back into Lamptey. Lamptey, look to pull it back there. And really good defensive play there by Thiago Silva, who was covering for Marcos Alonso. But it will be a Brighton and Hove Albion corner kick. Welbeck just stretching that defence. I'm surprised they haven't isolated the wing-backs more. He is really stretching the defence, and I totally agree with that. But I think Lamptey's starting to do that. He started to do it in the first half anyway. Brighton have only had 4 losses all season. Only the top 3 have had less losses. Pretty impressive. That's what I mean. They've been really, really impressive defensively so far this season. Brighton whipped in there from that corner, and it's just, I think that at the back of the shoulder of Webster there as he's jumped up. I don't think he quite expected it to come through to him. It went through an array of bodies, and I think it hits him on the chest. That's what it does. It goes through Rudiger, and I think it's Veltman in front of him, and as a result, he goes to turn around, and not good stuff. Feel like Brighton can get back into it. Me too. They just look like they're absolutely flying at the moment. Football stars, what are you on about? Or is this what you're meaning? You're a world football stars. Sam, what did you do today? Well, that's a really good question, Sean, because I'm actually going to plug that video, which I know that you watched earlier. But I did upload a video earlier. Neymar, overhated, overrated. Find out my thoughts on that video. That is on my channel. But otherwise, I was at work all day. I just pre-recorded one. So I thought I'd fire out a 2-minute Tuesday for you guys and create myself a nice little thumbnail. Jorginho being fouled in the back there by Alzate. And Alzate trying to stop Jorginho from taking the free kick quickly there. If you want a date with Sam, just tell him. Exactly, Sean. If that's what you want, just tell me. I'm not sure Aaron would like it, but, it's 21st century. Mason Mount is going to roll that one forward. I think Ziyech is offside there, but Mason Mount passed through to Ziyech is too hard anyway. Sam's 6-minute Tuesday doesn't have the same ring. I know, Fraser, but by the time I've explained the concept to you, it's already 2 minutes. So then you've got to take it 2 minutes from there. There's a 30-second outro. It's actually about 3 minutes. Although Brighton have lost 4 times, they've drawn 10 times. Yeah, and one of those was against Chelsea. But that's part of how good they are. They keep themselves in the game. So whilst it might be not 3 points lost, it's still a point gained. And against these big sides, it's definitely important. Tariq Lamptey looks phenomenal. I might stick him in my FPL team, He's absolutely flying up that right wing-back role. Kante drives out here. Can he switch the play there? Looking for Ziyech, but no, Cucurella as well. Another player who looks fantastic. McAllister nutmegs Jorginho. Imagine nutmegging the 3rd best player in the world. Here's Cucurella. I couldn't even say that without laughing. Cucurella goes out wider to Murder. Murder's going to pull one back, cleared by Thiago Silva. So lackadaisically by Thiago Silva. He's so calm on the ball. I saw this poll saying which is better, the 17-18 or 2013 Ronaldo. You're on 25 likes. Wow. Brilliant stuff. The last time I checked, I was on like 15. So thank you to those who have smashed that like button forwards. I really do appreciate it. You gain more points from winning than losing than drawing. Winning than losing than drawing. We see that with Leeds last season. Yeah. Winning and losing rather than just drawing. Yeah. I know what you mean. Leeds last season were like they won or they lost, didn't they? There was no in between. Sam, you're doing amazing in this stream. Stop, Shah. Stop. You stop. Lamptey wins his team another throw-in. Marcos Alonso really struggling with him at the moment. Really, really struggling. Throw in here for Veltman, but they're throwing it back to Chelsea. Jorginho gets his head in the way, but he's gone out again for another Brighton throw-in. There's plenty of room if Brighton want to find McAllister here. If he just looks up and McAllister appeals for this one from the throw-in. Bit of argy-bargy going on there between Tariq Lamptey and Marcus Alonso. Alonso's just saying that Tariq Lamptey's putting an elbow in him. Interesting to see if they'll show us a replay on that. It just looked like, like from corners where when the ball comes in, there's a few people pushing themselves around sort of thing. It's very similar to that. And obviously, Tariq Lamptey being that quick, Marcus Alonso's got his hands all over him. Throw in there, taken to Pascal Gross, who tries to get himself away. And Jorginho can only succeed in giving away a Brighton corner. I'm a changed person this year. I know you are, Shah. I've never thought I'd see a compliment from Shah Hernandez. Here comes the corner. Let's see who takes it. It's weird. I don't know why they have two people out to take the corners. Maybe to spice it up a bit. It's going to be Pascal Gross to whip that one in. Cleared at the front post, though. Wasn't the best. Tariq Lamptey able to regain the ball. Alzate spreads the ball to McAllister. McAllister is going to switch it back over again. What a ball that is from McAllister. Been impressed with him as well so far today. It's hard to say that I've not been impressed with a Brighton player so far. They look really, really good. Here's Alzate again. Put Chelsea under the cosh. McAllister. Oh, that was nearly really close from murder there. He tried to flick it round the corner, looking for Danny Welbeck. And Kepa Arrizabalaga just comes out and claims that one. But better from Brighton. Really, really good play from Brighton. They just try something a little bit different. They're not bothered if it comes off, and that's part of the reason why they look so good, because they're willing to try the nice little flicks, move the ball around nicely, and that is part of the reason that they're doing so well. 47 on this stream, everyone. Please like and subscribe. Thanks, Shah. Thank you. Get Sam to 550 subs. Yes, if you could help me move on the way up to 550 subscribers, that would mean the world to me. My goal is by Valentine's Day for 600. So if you could do your thing and help me get towards that, that would be absolutely fantastic. Lukaku's up to 11 touches. Woohoo! Romelu, the Belgian striker, Romelu. 11 touches, man. Who said Lionel Messi was the GOAT? Who said Lionel Messi was the GOAT? Ziyech finds Azpilicueta. Watch him score now. Azpilicueta looking for Callum Hudson-Odoi at the back post. Falls to Alonso. Alonso blocked by Tariq Lamptey. And now he's in trouble. He's not going to be able to get him. And he's fouled him. Of course he has. He wasn't going to be able to catch up with him. How is Dan Burn not a goal-scoring defender? He's so much taller. He is. I totally agree, PAFC. I totally agree. This guy is so dead. Paid 100 mil for this guy to kick a ball and then run. Yeah, honestly. You don't mind, though, do you? When if they keep their attitude in check, they don't mind, because they'll they want to play there. But Lukaku just doesn't look like he wants to play it. And he looks slow as well. That's part of the problem. Here goes Dan Burn. He's having a bit of a run. Rolls it into Cucurella. Lovely play there from Moda to find Cucurella. Is this their opportunity? Back to McAllister. He's taking the deflection. Oh, what a save! Oh my gosh. What a save by Kepa Arrizabalaga. That was fantastic. He took a deflection on the way through from the shot from McAllister. And what a save that is. A brilliant save. A brilliant save. Oh my gosh. My heart then. I thought that was going to find its way in. McAllister's going to go take a corner. But what a save that is from Kepa. What a save. McAllister to whip in this corner. It's headed. Oh my God, it's gone in. Oh my gosh. Is that? Oh my gosh. It's Webster. There was warning signs at the last one, but Webster's just put it in. Oh no. Oh. After all Kepa's hard work. Where was the marking, man? Where was the marking? Oh, that is absolutely awful defending from Chelsea from that corner. They were so open. So open. Oh, my gosh. Webster, to be fair to Webster, bullet of a header. But why are we doing zonal marking? Why are we doing Dave zonal marking? Who's marking him? Oh, my. He runs off Kante. He runs off Mason Mount. Why are those two the players there? Lukaku stood at the front post. Rudiger's marking one of the other centre-halves. Why are they the players marking him? Webster's like 6'3". Why are we putting 5'7" N'Golo Kante on the book? You're actually kidding me. This club, what is wrong with it at the minute? What is wrong with Chelsea FC at the minute? I don't know. But Brighton, to be honest with you, deserve to be level. I've said it all game, to be honest with you. Brighton look the better side. Absolutely, they look the better side. And Brighton are going to make their first substitution as well, because they're going to bring on Leandro Trossard and they're going to bring someone else on as well who I've not seen sneak on. It's Neil Maupay. So things just went from bad to worse there for Chelsea. They're bringing on Trossard, who I'm assuming is coming on for Moda, because I can't see them taking off McAllister. Let's see who it is. I'm just updating the scoreboard for you now, guys. It's not actually said at the moment, but I assume that's what it's going to be. Chelsea, what can they do? Can they bounce back? Here's N'Golo Kante. Rolls it into Ziyech. Jorginho looking forward there for Mason Mount. Wins the ball back, though. Ziyech. Oh, my God. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. After I was so happy as well about that save from Kepa. Like, I can't fault Kepa at all there. Don't get me wrong. I cannot fault Kepa at all. It's the defending. Chelsea switched off from that corner massively. Massively switched off. Cannot believe it. Cannot believe it. Who's come off? Let's have a look. There's Lamptey. I'm trying to work this one out here. It didn't come up with the animation to tell me who's come off. I saw Welbeck come off, but I didn't see anyone else come off. Oh, it is Moda. Jakub Moda's come off. Yeah, Jakub Moda's come off for, who did I just say? 11, Leandro Trossard. All right, I'll get back to your comments in a sec. I'm just exporting the new one. Callum Hudson-Odoi with an effort. Kante from range there. Chelsea trying to get some shots in at the goal now. It's worrying for Chelsea, isn't it? If there's any other Chelsea fans in here, let me know. Are you as worried as I am about this Chelsea running form? Because it's not good. It's not good. If we want to retain our Champions League title, we can't be drawing to Brentford. We really can't. We really can't be drawing to Brentford. Right, Brighton even. Let me just update the scoreboard for you guys. I'll do that right now. There we are, 34 comments in. I'll get through them in a sec, guys. And then, finally, now they've come up with the thing. Right, there we are. All updated, teams updated for you as well. There we are. Where did we get up to? Kraft's last name is Webster as well. Sorry, Football Stars' last name's Webster. I don't know why I keep changing your name. It keeps confusing me. Come on, my 2-1 prediction could have been Chelsea score one more. If Lukaku has had a touch, it would have been okay. We've been horrible. Brighton are on the attack again here. Here's Cucurella. Trossard. Trying to wriggle free. We know what he's capable of doing. Trossard still on the ball here, dribbling between a few players. And there we are, doubled up there. Aspilicueta and Jorginho. Tuchel out. Fraser says Tuchel in. Typical. Yes, he looks like Lukaku. The league is clearly too much for him. Serie A is slower because everyone is technically sound. And Conte gave him a license to do his thing on the counter-attack. Totally agree. Is there anyone else? Tuchel at the wheel, for God's sake. I'm changing my prediction to 4-1 Brighton. At this rate, I won't be surprised. Why is he taking Welbeck off? He's been a threat. I did think that, actually. I didn't say it, but I did think that. I was a bit confused with that, if I'm honest with you. Bit confused that they've taken him off there. Brighton, the Draw Kings, says Josh Ring. Absolutely. Scoreboard, Sam. Yes, you've got to give me a chance to get through to do it. You've got to... Also, great to see this stream popping off. Yes, and thank you for sharing it, Josh, as well. Lovely to have Gulls and Wiki Ticky in here to have a bit more conversation for us. Good stuff. Lovely to have you in, gents. And, of course, all the regulars and anyone else as well. Aspilicueta rolls it into Ziyech. Ziyech is going to try turn out here, and he's going to try to get away from Cucurella. But Cucurella is too good for Hakim Ziyech. This whole game, Cucurella has him in his back pocket the whole time. The whole time. Been way too easy. Way too easy. Where else have we got to? Where has Mason Mount been? He's been Mason the friendly ghost today. Very true. He's been really quiet today, Mason Mount, but just give him an opportunity and I'm sure he'll get onto it. But the thing is, when you've got Romelu Lukaku having 11 touches, it's hard for Mason Mount to be creative because he's clearly not making the runs. Alonso! Oh my God, that was a lot further away than what it was, but it fell to him at the edge of the box and he just struck it and just the the child inside me saw Steven Gerrard against West Ham and expected it to fly in. I think Mount has been watching Danny Ings too much. Lukaku definitely has been. And June's come back in to brag. Thank you, June. I appreciate that. And your respects for drama between the lads. Drama between the lads. Sam, you made me jump. Sorry, Sean. Sorry, Sean. Why does everyone want Brighton to win? June just hates Chelsea, so that's why June wants Brighton to win. Has Ings been that bad? In the last game, Danny Ings, what was it in the first half, Josh? It was like 9 touches for Danny Ings in the first half. Oh, McAllister. McAllister's so good. He looks so good in this Brighton setup. Cucurella rolls it into Trossard. Why am I getting more excited about the Brighton players? Trossard clips it in. Morpay's in there. It's going to fall at the back poster. Oh, my God. Morpay's just fluffed his lines. Lamptey crossed it back across the box and Morpay should have scored. He should have scored. Oh, my gosh. He should have scored. Fraser, you shouldn't want a draw because if we stay closer to you, then if you drop any points, then the pressure is still on Man City. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that. I cannot believe Morpay missed that. I'd have put my life on him to score there. His touch is awful. Touch is awful. Flipping at 9 touches. Yeah, 9 touches in the first half. Lukaku had 7 earlier in the first half of this game. So that'll tell you all you need to know. Wiki Ticky tells you all you need to know. Cucurella is out wide here. McAllister into Trossard. Trossard pulls it across. Oh my gosh, why is Morpay not going for that again? I'm not complaining, but why is he? All he has to do is commit and get in there, and it's in the back of the Chelsea net. Graham Potter's fuming. Like, how has he not brought his foot on the end of that? I don't know. Chelsea are living life so dangerously at the moment. So dangerously. 68 minutes on the clock and Chelsea look like they could be on for a hammering. Curly joked about changing his scoreline prediction to 4-1 Brighton. But had Danny Welbeck and Neil Morpay got on the end of some of these opportunities, then it could quite well be. It could quite well be. Chelsea living life on the edge here. Blimey. Oh. Pookie greater than Edouard. Jesus. Don't disrespect Edouard like that. Don't disrespect him. I can't believe Chelsea have conceded again. Cannot believe it. Cannot believe it. Oh, and we're moving. We're seven subscribers away. Absolutely fantastic stuff, guys. Really appreciate the support. Ziyech into Aspilicueta, who's looking to whip one across the box there. Nearly took a deflection off Dan Burn on the way through. Arsenal being better than Spurs isn't hard, though. It's not hard to be better than Spurs, is it? Not hard to be better than Spurs. I love how it doesn't matter what Spurs do. They're always going to be the butt of the joke in London, and it's brilliant. Jorginho, what a ball that is if he can pull it off. No, of course he can't because he's got 8 feet tall of Dan Burn stood in front of Hakim Ziyech there, who's never going to miss a header. And here goes the counter-attack from Brighton. That's a great ball to find Neil Morpay. Neil Morpay, he's got his feet in a bit of a tangle there. He's going to shoot, though. Should have maybe rolled that to Tariq Lamptey. Comes all the way back to the halfway line. Webster looks to clip one over. The goal scorer clips one to Cucurella. Cucurella here. Goes down the line to Trossard. Trossard trying to work an inch of room here. Pulls it back to McAllister at the edge of the box. Looking to try and find half a yard himself. Chelsea are looking okay defensively drilled. But said that, Webster just drives in loads of space. And here goes Webster. He fancies another one. Oh, my gosh. What a run that was from Webster. He just dropped his shoulder past Mason Mount and then just carried on running. David Luiz, eat your heart out. He just skipped by him. And then all of a sudden, Jorginho, he's never catching anyone. Rudiger steps up accidentally. And he goes to roll it across the box. What is going on, Chelsea? What is going on? Chelsea on the absolute ropes here. Absolute ropes. But for real, Mitrovic better than Ayew. I'd say in the Premier League that Ayew's better than Mitrovic because Mitrovic is a flop in the Premier League. Chris Ring, welcome back. Finishing the season outside the top 2 may be irrelevant for Tuchel if Chelsea carry on like this. I know, exactly. That is the worry. It's not about finishing in the top two. It's whether he'll be sacked in the meantime. You see how City and Liverpool are embarrassing United. Spurs could never do that to Arsenal. Yeah, pretty much. But they couldn't do it to Chelsea either, I don't think. Where's Spurs Champions League? Chelsea are getting battered everywhere they go. Come on, Sean. Come on, Sean. You're supposed to be backing me here, mate. You're supposed to be backing me here. Curly's taking it too far. If Mitrovic doesn't break that 30-goal record that Ivan Toney and Glenn Murray have, I'd be very surprised. But also, to address that, there's 48 games in a championship season. Considering Mo Salah scored 30 goals in a Premier League season, surely you'd have expected someone to at least have got up to 40 goals. Is that me being too critical of the league there? But you'd have thought someone would have done it before this, but who knows? Maybe it's because there's not as good a level of striker? I don't know. Curly, I'm not even going to respond to that one. I'm not going to respond to that one. Ball clips over the top. Lukaku! Oh, that one's gone wide. That one has gone wide. That wasn't like Ziyech's one earlier, where I thought it had gone wide, and it did actually go in. It's Rudiger who clips the ball over the top. He was definitely onside there, Romelu Lukaku. The first touch was absolutely rubbish, as one would expect, but from the tight angle, he still manages to get his shot on. Mason Mount goes out to take this corner. Chelsea still yet to make a sub. Mount whips it in, looking for the header Lukaku. It's flicked on at the front post, though, by the 7 feet tall defenders. Ziyech whips it in, looking for Azpilicueta with the front post, but I think that's cleared there by Byrne. It's a terrific piece of defending, if I'm honest with you. He's done really, really well there, Dan Byrne. He's got his head in front of Azpilicueta. Stop him flicking it on. Jurgen Klopp, worse than Vieira. What are we on about? What are we on about now? Yeah, I always forget that you're not just a Sam fan, Sean. You actually have to put up with Arsenal. But there we are. The real question is Vieira or Graham Potter. That is a very good question. That is a great debate. I'm sure that will be. Cesar Azpilicueta just having a word in his ear there from the referee. Ziyech is going to come to take this corner. It's going to be an in-swinger off the left foot of Hakim Ziyech, flicked in towards the front post there. And somehow Romelu Lukaku has jumped on top of one of the players there. Not sure what happened to McAllister in that as well. Oh, it's Lukaku who gets in the way. And then it's Lukaku pushes over McAllister. So that's what I saw Lukaku do. He just bulldozes McAllister out the way. And then it's Rudiger at the front post who jumps on top of someone accidentally. So 2 decisions there, to be honest with you. Steve Bruce greater than Thomas Tuchel. God, don't let Active Aaron hear that. Hopefully he's not in the chat. He wouldn't have liked that one. Here comes another corner. Ziyech whips it in, looking deeper this time. And Lukaku, man, he's being marked so tight. And it's there's literally no point in whipping that ball into Romelu Lukaku. You have to try something different. Like as we're seeing on this replay that Brighton did for that Webster goal. It's a bullet of an header, that. I tell you what. Watch that one back on Match of the Day tonight. An absolute bullet of a header, if there is a Match of the Day tonight for one game. I don't think there will be. But absolute bullet of a header from Webster. There's no saving that. And Jorginho's given the ball away to him. Oh, my gosh. McAllister played the first-time ball to Maupay, and it was the most perfect ball, but Maupay didn't turn around and hit him on the heel. All he had to do was jump up out of the way of it, and it'd have been sorted. But 15 minutes left on the clock, guys. Do we reckon there's going to be a winner? What do you all reckon? Will there be a winner at the end of this game? Ziyech tries to get himself away, but closed down again by Brighton. Awful marking for their goal. I know, absolutely, truly awful marking. Speaking of truly awful, Trossard goes to cross it in. That wasn't a dig at Trossard. That was a dig at Chelsea. Whoops. Marcus Alonso clears behind for a Brighton corner. Hopefully they mark better from this corner. Whilst we wait for that, guys, 36 people in the stream. We're 7 subscribers away from this subscriber goal up here. Trying to move on towards 600. Trying to beat Lukey Links to 600. So if you could help me get there and beat Luke Links, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Tariq Lamptey is the next player to make way for Solly March, who is the man who is coming on. So Tyree Lamptey off, Solly March on. Let's see how that changes I think that's quite an attacking move, if I'm honest with you. Admittedly, I think they've taken off Lamptey for, oh my gosh, Kepa's flapped at that, but the referee's given it as a foul on Kepa Arrizabalaga there. Yeah, I think it's more of a Tyreek Lamptey coming back from injury move rather than it being, actually, we need to take Tyreek Lamptey off. He's not been very good. I think it's more a lack of fitness move than anything. So that'll probably be the reason Lamptey's been taken off, because he's been excellent all night. Marcus Alonso, I'm sure, will be glad to see the back of him. And Jorginho's just giving the ball away again here. And here's McAllister, who finds Maupay, and Maupay's just not quite on the same wavelength as Trossard, there. Brighton, just in that final third at the moment, just aren't quite on the same wavelength. But in terms of the attacking midfielders tonight, they've all looked absolutely fantastic, haven't they? The attacking midfielders, they've looked really, really good. Here's Hudson-Odoi off the left-hand side, rolls it in, looking for Alonso. Alonso pulls it back. Mason Mount can't quite get on that, and it's cleared by Brighton once again. Brighton give the ball away, though. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Let me just update this. Hudson-Odoi uses a decoy, clips it in, looking for Lukaku. Lukaku has a 50p head, and it's gone back out towards Hudson-Odoi and Mason Mount. Hudson-Odoi, can he do something here? Rolls it into Alonso. Here's Kante. Hudson-Odoi. Oh, Hudson-Odoi's giving the ball away on the edge of the Brighton box there. Brighton hoof it clear. Boris out, Sam in. Oh, God, I can think of nothing worse. Chelsea, finally, 77 minutes on the clock, and they're finally going to be making the changes. Finally. My gosh, Havertz and Kovacic are going to be on their way. Conte, can he pick the right pass here? Oh, N'Golo Kante, not quite. But Hudson-Odoi, I think, should be doing more up on the top of that left wing there. Jorginho, he's playing a risky game tonight. I don't know. I don't think that's how the government works. Considering I work in local government, I don't think that's how that works. Because otherwise, I'd just have a Leeds season ticket holder. But who knows? Ziyech is going to square up against Cucurella, as in go to cross it in, not as in they're going to have a fight. Although, might be more entertaining than Chelsea's football tonight. Jorginho into the feet of Lukaku. What goes on in my head? Hudson-Odoi pulls it back. Here's Jorginho. Jorginho finds the feet of Ziyech. It's bouncing around in that Brighton box. Chelsea sustaining a little bit of pressure at the moment. Jorginho again finds Kante. Ziyech is closed really quickly there, but the foul's been given away by Byrne there. Clattered into him, really did clatter into him. Come on, Chelsea. We need a winner. We're moving our way into Brighton and Hove Albion moments, and we don't want that. We definitely don't want that. We're moving our way closer in. Have Chelsea made their substitutions yet? Let me just double check this one. I don't think they have. Oh, just as I say it, they are making their substitutions. Havertz has come on for Rom. Thank God. Oh, baby, do you know what that's worth? Kai Havertz is the best on earth. And Romelu Lukaku's gone off. Werner's come on as well. Who did Werner come on for? Was that Mason Mount? No, Mount's on the ball. So I'm guessing it's Hakim Ziyech, Jorginho, Romelu Lukaku. That's who it is. Let me just change that for us, guys. Chelsea have a free kick here, which is a little bit out of Marcus Alonso's territory. If I was to, hedge my bets, I'd say it's a little bit out of Marcus Alonso territory. More would maybe be in a Reece James sort of territory, but who knows? Who knows with the talents of Marcus Alonso's left foot from a dead ball. Mason Mount is also over it. Might favour Mason Mount, like I say, a little bit more because he's got more of a knuckleball type technique, if you understand what I'm trying to say here. Azpilicueta is not happy with the wall at the moment. I think the wall's just encroached a little bit. Azpilicueta pleading his case to the referee. He was going to remark out the 10 yards. It's funny how that's how exciting the game is, that I have to commentate over that. That's how exciting the game has been in terms of Chelsea. Right, I'm just updating the banner, guys. I'll get back to your comments in 2 seconds. Thank you guys for the support tonight. That was an awful free kick there from Marcus Alonso. Hudson-Odoi is going to clip one back in, cleared out again by Brighton. Of course, if you play the ball in the air towards Brighton, it's not going to cause them too many problems. Here's Timo Werner. Werner already looking to be direct here. Pulls it back into Azpilicueta, who finds Kante, Kovacic. Alonso's going to clip one in. Again, I don't know why we're crossing the ball in the air now. Really don't. We've taken Romelu off. Don't cross the ball in the air. Yeah, just a massive shout out to all of those who have been in the chat for a sustained period. And thank you for the support tonight. Really do greatly appreciate it. I was a little bit worried when I saw Thogden streaming it, but hopefully I don't lose you all now that I've just said that. Let's see what the comments were saying. Liverpool fans hate Boris and Torres. What? Where is the link between those two? I have computing homework and CBA doing it, and English homework I'll do in the morning as I wake up at 6. Oh, that doesn't sound fun. Jesse Lingard, the best on earth. What's Fraser asking me? Oh, what, to do your home? I couldn't do your computing homework. I got an E at year 9, so at year 8, sorry. So I'm not doing your computing homework. That's never happening. Something more up my street, like English. Oh no, you just said English. I'm not doing that. Here you go, Brighton. Solly March trying to get away from Rudiger. He's been supported there, and that's really helped there. The run from Alzate, I believe that was, clipped in there towards Cucurella, and Werner picks up the ball. He's going to try drive the ball out here, Werner, and Werner's just been blocked off there. And referee says that that's not a free kick for Timo Werner. Cucurella's actually done well. Sam is above Luke in subs. Oh, it's swung back in my favour, hasn't it? It's swung back in my favour. Chelsea don't create any clear-cut chances at all. It's been so stale. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. This is probably why my streams haven't done very well over the last few weeks. Because every time I watch Chelsea, they do rubbish. Neil Morpie is getting annoyed at the referee for getting in the way here, and Chelsea might be able to counter-attack from this. This would be controversial, wouldn't it, if Chelsea went and scored? Kovacic on his way forward. Sam, I got to get grade 3 in year 8. Now this term I'm working at a 7. You're going to have to explain that to me in old GCSE terms, Shab. I don't know what that means. I was old GCSEs. I was letters. I was normal GCSEs. Kovacic into Mason Mount. And is that a foul in the box there? Is that a foul in the box on Mason Mount? Referee says no. Sure, that'll go to VAR to double check that one. Chelsea, come again. Here is Mateo Kovacic on the ball. He's going to switch that one. Looking for Azpilicueta. Please don't cross the ball in again. Why are we crossing the ball in? Why are we crossing the ball? We haven't even got Lukaku on. Lukaku was doing nothing. But why are we crossing the ball in? All of the defenders are at least 14 foot tall. Yeah, definitely not a foul there on Mason Mount in the box. Alonso does well to chest it down. But yeah, I don't think there's a foul there. Not a dive, but not a foul. You shouldn't yell into a... Because it's... I was trying to work out if you'd spelt it wrong there, Curly. I was trying to understand what you said. You shouldn't yell into a colander because it strains your voice. For God's sake. For God's sakes, man. This is what I got to put up with. Liverpool fans hate the Tories is what I meant to say. Oh, right. I thought you meant hate Torres. I was like, what? Where was the correlation between that? Oh, well. Here is Cesar Azpilicueta with a bit of room. Werner, get up alongside him. He does. Werner pulls it across the box to Azpilicueta. Azpilicueta, oh, he couldn't quite get his shot off. And Brighton clear once again. Chelsea are knocking on the door, but like Wiki Tiki says, there isn't really a clear-cut opportunity here for them. Kovacic goes wider again. Werner, plenty of space for Timo. Azpilicueta stayed forward. Timo Werner looks to curl one, takes a couple of deflections, comes back out. Here's Mateo Kovacic. At least, like, Aspilicueta staying up. This was my massive criticism against Man City at the weekend, was that we didn't have the centre-backs going forward. I prefer to lose by 2 than 1. And they weren't doing that. At least they're doing that now. Aspilicueta committing forward. Chelsea getting bodies forward. Here's Kovacic, and he's giving the ball away. Brilliant. Just as I give you some form of praise, Chelsea. Here goes Solly March. McAllister moves it forward. Here's Cucurella. Cucurella, it's a 3-on-3 here. Cucurella has Trossard in support. Oh, he's over at the pass a bit there for Trossard. Trossard has to cut back on his right foot. Rolls it back to Cucurella, who clips one in, looking for Maupay. Falls to the edge of the box. Here's Alzate. Kante intercepts, but only as far as Pascal Gross. Oh, is there going to be a winner? Get in the chat. Is there going to be a winner? And who's the winner going to be for if you think there's going to be a winner? Here's Alzate again. I've got to feel like it's going to go to Brighton, if I'm honest with you. Neil Maupay. Trossard. Oh, he's just... Fortunately for Chelsea, he's got the ball stuck under his feet. And here goes Turbo. Timo Werner. Can he pick out the right pass? Oh, he's just slightly over it. That Kai Havertz wasn't quite on the right wavelength there. Sam, you look young in a good age. Well, thank you. I'm only 22, so I'd hope so. Brighton 95th. The system might have to change. You don't create high-quality chances in the game. I think our problem is because we don't have our fullbacks, and that's where our most creative part is. Trossard just caught offside there. I think that is the problem with the system, Wiki. I think that is the problem because we create so many opportunities with the fullbacks at the moment, Chelsea, that when we don't have the balance of Reece James and Ben Chilwell, that actually causes us more problems, because it's not just our defensively, they're not as sound playing Hudson-Odoi or Alonso or Aspilicueta there. It's going forward, there's no aggression. Reece James will try beat a man, he'll try shug someone off. Sean, you're older than me. Nice. I'm only 22 though, so Kovacic switches that, looking for Aspilicueta. Just as I say that, Aspilicueta gets really far up the pitch, and Chelsea win a corner. Maybe the last chance saloon for Chelsea. What have you got on the back of the Chelsea shirt? This one, I've got Cesc Fabregas on. I don't know if you can see that. I'm trying not to knock my green screen. This one's got Fabregas on the back. My other one's got Mason Mount on the back, because I am a literal child. Good to see you, Dean. If you are new, mate, don't recognise your name. So if you are new, mate, do be sure to smash that like button for us and do subscribe. Let us know your thoughts on this game so far. I'm assuming you have subscribed. If I've still got the subscriber-only chat on, though, I am assuming so. Aspilicueta is having a word again with the referee. I swear Aaron's like 25. Aaron's not 25, no. I'm not going to tell you how old Aaron is, because I don't know if he'll want me to tell you and the people in here, but he's not 25. Corner whipped in by Chelsea. Falls out to Mateo Kovacic. Oh, God. I think what he saw was that goal against Liverpool there and went, oh, I could do it again. And he definitely didn't, because all he did was pick out the top row of the stand there, if I'm honest with you. Top row of the stand. Disappointing from Chelsea. Disappointing from Chelsea yet again. And of course, Brighton will now make a few subs, no doubt. Just while we wait, Roberto Sanchez. Can you wear your Chelsea shirt backwards for me, please? Why would I wear it backwards? What is the need for me to wear it backwards? Just whilst Robert Sanchez takes this goal kick for Brighton. I did upload a video earlier on, so if you are new to the Sam Redgate-Large channel, do be sure to go and check that out as well. Talking about Neymar, do we reckon he's overrated or overhated? Let me know. Here's Alzate on the edge of the box. Cleared by Chelsea, just about 4 minutes of added time at the end of the second half. Cucurella whips one in, looking for Neil Maupay. Kante picks up the ball, though. Can Kante get Chelsea unlocked here and get the ball forward? No. Easily read by the Brighton defenders. Chelsea need to do more. Chelsea need to do more. Brighton have been the better team all game. Here's Cucurella, who I've been really impressed with from a Brighton perspective. Here's Maupay in a bit of room. Good block, though, by Thiago Silva. Whipped in again by Brighton. Cleared this time by Thiago Silva again. Trossard was the man who was in the middle there, ready to fire. Solly March there wins a free kick, and this might be a real last chance saloon. Let me just spin round so I can show Dean my top. Let me spin round. I'm going to have to mind me table. Does that help? Does that help? I'm trying to wait for me. I've got my stream up over there so I can see everything. I think that's worked. Fabregas. Yeah? There, Fabregas. Sorted. Right, here comes the free kick. Good job I didn't miss that, innit? Good job I didn't miss that free kick. Ow, I can't get my legs back under. Free kick for Brighton to potentially steal all the points. In comes the free kick, looking for the head of Maupay, who's headed it up like a 50p. Will that fall for Cucurella? It's hoiked back in there by one of the centre halves. It might fall for Maupay. Trossard's in there. So is Rudiger. Rudiger clears it. And here goes Havertz. Havertz rolls in Timo Werner. Werner, get your legs going, lads. Oh, come on. Run past him. Do something. Oh, Werner, man. That was just not what I wanted you to do whatsoever. He gave the ball away literally at the corner of Brighton's half. And here goes Trossard. It's end-to-end stuff there. It looks like a cup final. Trossard, poor ball, though. I wish it was a cup final, so we had 30 extra minutes of it. Although it has been boring up until this final few minutes. N'Golo Kante finds Werner again. Come on, Timo. Now's your time. Now's your time. Oh, he tries to go past Cucurella. Good defending there by Cucurella, the Spaniard. Here's Kante. Kante, I beg you shoot, man. I beg. Werner. Azpilicueta. Oh. Good block by Cucurella. Chelsea just testing, just probing. Oh, my gosh. 30 seconds left. Alonso to take this corner, whips it in, and that's not gonna do anything to ever disturb Brighton. Cleared at the front post by Cucurella, and Chelsea might have just lost their opportunity there. Hudson-Odoi. Alonso shoots. Blocked by Brighton. Cleared up the pitch again. That might be just about it. Mason Mount needs to get a wiggle on if he wants to get the ball up the field. Oh, and that's it. Oh, that was a must-win. That was a must-win. Brighton fans, Chelsea fans, get in the chat. Whoever's been watching with me, get in the chat. Let me know what you've made to this game. Let me know what you've made. Oh. Full-time, Brighton 1, Chelsea 1. Brighton by far the better team for a good 70 minutes of that game, barring that one shot sort of thing, which snuck in past the goalkeeper and a little bit of a switch off from Robert Sanchez. I think he's been a much, much better team, Brighton, for the most part. And to be honest with you, it's definitely deserved. Chelsea dropped points again. Now, if West Ham United, Arsenal, 35 points, Chelsea, 9 points ahead. Chelsea now, if Arsenal win their 3 games in hand, Chelsea will be on exactly the same points. West Ham have 1 game in hand. West Ham will then be 4 points behind. Chelsea, all of a sudden, being dragged into a top 4 race rather than a title challenge like we all imagined they would be at the beginning of this season. But tonight, simply not good enough. Simply not good enough. The criticisms which were there against Manchester City were there again tonight. Not clinical enough in the final third, not taking as many opportunities as they probably should do, or even looking to shoot those opportunities as they should do. And you can criticise Tuchel for leaving out Mason Mount tonight, but where was he tonight? He was pretty much non-existent for the most part of tonight. A really, really frustrating game for Chelsea. But you've got to give credit where credit's due to Graham Potter and what he's doing at Brighton. Brighton look fantastic going forward. They just need that keen striker. I still think, despite Morpé's 7 goals this season and Danny Welbeck looking decent, I still think that Brighton need that striker, because tonight this game could have been wrapped up and it could have been 4-5-1 to Brighton had they had the right players in those attacking areas. No, I don't, Dean. I only have 2 shirts. I've got the current shirt and this 2016 shirt as well. Oh dear, Chelsea should have won that, but Brighton were livelier and seemed more hungry. Nail on the head, Chris. Nail on the head. It's the same thing as all season. And to be honest with you, I'll go back to it, and I'm going to go back to it again. And it's kind of ironic how the last few weeks I have been moaning about Chelsea, saying, oh, it's an attitude problem. It's an attitude problem. And then Romelu Lukaku comes out with that statement, and he has that, however many weeks ago. And I'm like, again tonight, Chelsea, they go 1-0 up. Halftime comes. Yes, okay, yeah, maybe. Yeah, they deserve to be 1-0 up. You can maybe give them credit for it. But second half, did they come out with their fight? No. Definitely not. They didn't come out with a fight. And to be honest with you, they sat off Brighton. They made it easy for Brighton. It was very, very easy for Brighton. I've got a picture of Chelsea lifting the Champions League there. And I'm sat here and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, we are so far away from that team that won the Champions League last season. It's uncanny. Uncanny. Whilst we didn't have the goals last season, we had a bit more creativity. We looked like we were going to score. We looked like we could do something. And just tonight, we just didn't, did we? We really, really didn't. We looked off the pace. And to be honest with you, the defending at times was shoddy. It really was shoddy. Rudiger, Thiago Silva, they were okay. But for the most part, the defending has been shoddy. Marcus Alonso, we need a better left back. If we don't get a better left back this season in this January transfer window, a lot could change. A lot could change. And we could end up fighting for a top 4, maybe even top 5 position if, obviously, Arsenal do what you expect them to do, but also if Chelsea don't fulfill these roles where actually we've got long-term injuries, Chilwell's out to the rest of the season, a left-back should be a priority. There's no use in calling back Kennedy. He couldn't get in a Newcastle team. There's no use. Chelsea need to make changes now, and they need to be big changes. They need to, I don't care, do what City do. Buy a 50 million player to stick on the bench because it works. At the end of the day, you play football to win trophies. That's all it's there for, isn't it? Obviously, I don't want to spend 50 million on a fullback. I want to be able to give Ben Chilwell, Marcus Alonso, these players time to build into this team. But tonight, it was so far off with Marcus Alonso again. Since December, Marcus Alonso has looked a mere shadow of himself. And it's like we had, it's been useless. It's like putting a one-legged dog at left back at times. I tell you what. Let's have a look through some of the comments then as you guys, even though I'm 30 minutes from Brighton, I'm annoyed, says, I was here when we scored in the UEFA Champions League final. You were indeed. That was a good moment, wasn't it? Not like tonight. Tuchel needs to fix something because he was slow with the subs. It wasn't working in the first half. Spot on, Wiki, spot on. And the criticism, what criticism did we have around Maurizio Sarri? That he didn't make the subs when needed and he didn't have a plan B. Tonight, Tuchel didn't look like he had a plan B. He really didn't. He set that team up and went, we're going to win this. And it took him 77 minutes to finally make a substitution, to bring on Werner, to bring on Kovacic, to bring on Kai Havertz. It shouldn't take you 77 minutes in a game that is must win, literally must win. It should not take you 77 minutes to make a substitution when you aren't winning. If Chelsea were 4-0 up, yeah, okay, don't make any subs. Try and get the attackers, save Lukaku, hasn't scored yet. Try and get him a goal. But that wasn't the situation tonight, and I totally agree with you there, Wiki. Totally agree with you there. When did Chelsea play Palace? That'll be a real challenge. Honestly, anyone will be a real challenge at the moment. Every manager you've had's always said that there's a motivation problem with the players. And I agree. I think the thing is, like, I don't think the problem dives down to some of the younger lads. I think it's the players who get brought in for big money at clubs like Chelsea, Man United, Manchester City, because they are brought in for 50 million, 40 million. They feel like they have a right to be at this football club. No one has a right to be at this football club. You all have to battle for your team and your places. And that's why, to some degree, I miss Trevor Chalobah not being in the squad. He gives it his all. Yes, he made a mistake against Liverpool, but the amount of times he then saves us in games, it's about heart, it's about drive, it's about power, it's about whatever The Rock wants to say. It's about all of those things, because these young lads have it, because they know what it means to be Chelsea. And some of these players that we're bringing in, they clearly don't. They just look slow, sluggish, lethargic. Jorginho is a prime example of that. All night tonight, he just kept doing these fancy flicks and stuff and giving the ball away. Do one. In your next live stream, can you wear your Mount shirt backwards for me? What do you mean backwards? Like across here? Is that what you mean? I expect Chelsea for that title. Really, I think the UEFA Champions League papered over some cracks. A cup competition doesn't say a lot. And I think as well, the problem is with Chelsea is that the Champions League made them think they were invincible. And then they've had a few tough defeats now, and they've gone, oh, well, it's Tuchel. Oh, well, it's this. Well, it's that. And in reality, they need to take a long, hard look at themselves. Totally agree. We have teams like Arsenal and West Ham doing better than Chelsea. Not going to lie. Totally spot on agree there, Shah. Sandeep says, Chelsea players, evening to you, Sandeep, if you are new. Thank you for stopping by. Chelsea players just blaming each other the entire game. Exactly. Lukaku's been doing it in interviews. He's been blaming everyone else. Someone needs to take up and take responsibility for what is going on. Tuchel's trying his best. Don't get me wrong, I don't think it's a problem with Thomas Tuchel. I think it's in that Chelsea DNA at the moment that they are just blaming each other. They're not taking responsibility. Aspilicueta, we've seen take responsibility, but there needs to be more leaders in the team than just the captains. The best teams have more leaders in the teams than just the captains. Chris Ring says, does Chelsea trust his bench? Does Tuchel trust his bench? Sorry. Nearly 80 minutes played before changes when his starting 11 was so poor. Exactly. Spot on. It's does he like these players? These players are players that were brought in under Frank Lampard. Does he trust them anymore? Because he didn't trust half of the players anyway last season, did he? Hence why he didn't play Timo Werner through the middle. He played Kai Havertz. He didn't trust particular players. And it seems like tonight he was like, oh, I don't know what to do. It was very, very one-dimensional for the most part. Chilwell has been injured for a while, though. You've had time to find a replacement. Well, we tried to get Emerson back, didn't we? We tried to get Emerson back. And to be honest with you, Emerson isn't going to set the world alight, but he's better than Marcus Alonso, in my opinion, defensively. And he would fill in that gap nicely, because that's where we're struggling at the moment. But we need to get someone. Craig O'Brien says, Arsenal fan, Brighton and Potter so underrated. Spot on, Craig. Spot on. I think they've done a fantastic job. What they did here tonight was brilliant as well. Hit Chelsea on the counter-attack. Don't let my moaning take away from how well Brighton and Hove Albion played tonight. Brighton were phenomenal. Going forward, McAllister looked brilliant. Trossard looked good. And the other lads who started, names eluding me at the moment, can't think of who started the game, Danny Welbeck. These players, they look really good going forward. Curly says, man of the match. I think man of the match for me has to go towards a Brighton player, and I'd have to give it to that man, Tyreek Lamptey, the right back. He was causing problems for Marcus Alonso all night tonight. And to be honest with you, it didn't even look like Marcus Alonso was on the pitch half the time. He was that good. We were lucky against them, lucky to get anything from them. Exactly. And no, they didn't play Sam Baldock for tonight. Let's not gas up Arsenal too much. Our midfield is still fragile. Yeah, you definitely do need to improve at the moment. If only Brighton could put these draws into wins, they could they always look like they can score whoever they play. Very good point, Simon. They need to just transition that, and that is something that they need to look at. But I think for this season, of course, towards the end of the season, you know, provided you don't get relegated, which doesn't look like it will, but it's a good building point, isn't it, for Brighton? A really good building point. And you've got to look at it that way. once you get a striker. And I think if you can manage to sneak in maybe a good cup run or something like that, or I don't know if he's still in the FA Cup now that I've said that. But if you can sneak in a good cup run, if he's still in the FA Cup, or if you can push for a Conference League position, finishing 7th or 8th, that could really open up some doors for you to get some extra revenue in your team and get a clinical striker, someone who's going to score the goals. Maupay's been good this season, but I'm sure if you look at his XG, he maybe should be scoring more goals. And just relax. Evening to you, says Lamptey is incredible. He's a really, really good player. Chelsea will be annoyed that they let him go, but they won't really rue it as much. Wow, still live, Sam. I know. We've had plenty of comments coming in. So thank you to you guys. Thank you to everyone who's been getting involved. Brighton got Spurs in the cup, so bye-bye their cup run. Who knows with Spurs, though? And just watching that the replay of the goal, and McAllister even waves at Webster before he even, Webster waves at him, McAllister waves at him. And then for some reason, we've got Jorginho, Kante, and Mason Mount marking the 3 big men. It's a brilliant header, don't get me wrong. But someone please explain to me, Kante, Jorginho, Mason Mount. Please. Because they're the 3 shortest players on the pitch. And they're marking the 3 centre-halves who are 9 foot tall and look like the blooming green giant. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Shah says, goodbye, Sam. Amazing stream. Really have had fun. Unlucky dropping points. I know. But I am going to leave it there myself, unless you guys have any final comments. Curly says, Brighton sign Vardy and they'll win the league. I mean, anyone sign Vardy. I'd take Vardy at Chelsea, to be honest with you. I would take Vardy at Chelsea, to be honest with you. But, just keep watching that goal. Stop playing the Brighton goal, please. Please. Thank you. Where was Rudiger when you conceded? He was marking his man. Rudiger was. He was actually marking his man. I would criticize it, but he was marking his man. It was just, they tried to do zonal marking and it's just not worked. It's really not worked. I still think Spurs under Conte will be up there. 5 games in hand versus Chelsea. Ridiculous stuff. I think they'll be up there at some point. They need to sort out that right back role, and hopefully Serge Reguilon, in terms of a Spurs perspective, if a Spurs fan was to look at it, hopefully Serge Reguilon would be back. Because I think that they just look so flat without that creativity up the left-hand side, Spurs do. And Chelsea, they need to look at it now, because they are looking over their shoulders now rather than looking forward, rather than thinking, oh, we can put a bit of pressure on the likes of Man City and Liverpool. Now it's, right, Arsenal have 3 games in hand on us. Spurs have 5 games in hand on us. Where do we go? Where do we go from here? And Sean says, Fulham might sign Christian Eriksen. A load of teams have been rumoured, Brentford being one of them as well. But that's just because, is it Thomas Frank used to coach? I think he used to coach Christian Eriksen at Ajax. So the more you know, hey. Anyway, guys, I am going to leave it there tonight. I'm absolutely shattered. Need to be up for work tomorrow. I might go to the gym. Why not, eh? Why not get myself go to the gym? Do keep your eyes peeled for potentially another live stream tomorrow night. So if you have enjoyed that, this stream tonight, make sure you've got your notifications bell turned on, and then you'll never miss an upload from me. Like I said, I did upload as well earlier on the channel. Neymar, overrated or overhated? Get in the comments of that video and let me know. Do you think Neymar's been overrated or overhated? Simon says, great live stream. Thank you, Simon. And thank you for being a new subscriber. Really appreciate you stopping by. And so I'll have a look. I'll have a look at the games, maybe do a bit of a poll, see what Josh, a View from the Stands, has done as well. If you aren't subscribed to him as well and you like these kinds of things, you'll love Josh's channel. So go over and subscribe to A View from the Stands. I'll see what he's doing, and maybe we can do opposite matches so that we don't clash with each other, and then we can have a nice little group of people together. Either way, I'm going to leave you here tonight. I cannot believe Chelsea have dropped points again, if I'm brutally honest with you. I cannot believe it. Thank you for watching, guys. Like I said, make sure to smash that like button. Do hit subscribe if you are new. And most importantly, guys, stay safe. Cheers.